G'day and welcome to Grandstand's online presentation, Finals Flashback. I'm Lee Pentony. Well, yesterday we remembered the thrilling 2005 AFL Grand Final between Sydney and West Coast. So with no hesitation, we decided we would follow up with the 2006 season decider contested by the same two teams. The Eagles had claimed the minor premiership with a 17-5 record in the home and away season, and they met the fourth place Swans in the first qualifying final at Subiaco Oval. Another pulsating match was played out with the Swans edging the Eagles by a point before the two later advanced to the big dance when they won their respective preliminary finals against Fremantle and Adelaide. Now, just like 2005, the 2006 Grand Final went down to the wire, and hosting Grandstand's commentary on what was a sunny September afternoon in Melbourne were Gerard Whateley and Drew Morfitt.
It's Swans Eagles 5 on Grandstand footy. Drew Morfitt, and it's on between McVeigh and Cousins.
But umpire Goldspink decides I'll get the game underway, and he throws it into the turf, and away we go. Neither ruckman gets a clear hand of the ball. It comes down the Swans' way. Stengline tackling. Was it in the back? The umpire says no, and there'll be a secondary bounce just outside the second circle. And McVeigh, who missed last year's grand final, into Cousins straight away. Swans win their head out. It comes down to Kirk. He kicks inside the 50. O'Loughlin a chance to mark. Glass punches away. Ball comes away to the Eagles. Beau Waters, the youngest player in the grand final at 20 years of age. His hand pass on the 50 hits the deck, and they come in from everywhere. And it'll be a ball up.
Goods has gone to Judd. Stengline's trying to keep him away, but that's going to be a ripper.
Swans in attack, the bounce at the 50. Ball comes down to Brett Jones. He's back into a pack, and we'll have another ball up. 50 seconds played in the grand final.
I'll tell you an interesting one. Hall is in the goal square, and Hunter's on him.
Swans in attack. Jolly got his fist to it, knocked it wide of the pack. O'Loughlin had a fresh area. O'Keefe goes in after it. Kirk got the hand pass out. Found its way to Buchanan. He gave it to Melcheski. Here's Hall and Hunter. Hunter got a fist. Hall next to the boundary. Can't keep it in.
Another great ball up by the Swans. Another setup that they just moved the ball away from. They are brilliant in that area. Inside 50, around 50. Hard to beat.
Swans deep in attack. The first goal beckons. Jolly from the back. Paddled it down. Flying shot from Schneider.
Free kick
in the ruck. The ball went through. Cox, though, to receive for the Eagles. He starts at fullback, and he chooses the southern side. He nearly overkicked Cousins. He pulls down the mark before Ablett can arrive to make the spoil.
Cousins inside defensive 50. Great southern stand side. Has a bounce. Laterally across the ground he goes with heads up running. He kicks outside the 50 beautifully, and the mark is taken by Braun at right halfback. Kicks down the line forward of the centre wing, and the mark taken by Hansen with a break on Roberts Thompson. Hansen centres the ball. And Waters takes the mark. Sorry, it's Brett Jones. Into Wirrapunda. Under pressure. Gets the hand pass out wide to Hansen. Misses the target. Taken over the boundary line by Roberts Thompson. And there'll be a throw in between wing and half forward. Slightly going the Eagles' way. No scorers yet, and we've played 2.5 minutes in the grand final. Cox wins the hit out. It comes to Goods. He misses it. Gets another chance. It's taken away by Fletcher for the Eagles. Hand pass to Judd. Burners kicks long towards full forward. Lynch is there. And there'll be a free kick in defence to Leo Barry. Not far from where he took that classic mark last year.
Free kicks at either end of the defenders. Barry chooses the southern side. Melcheski breaks for him at the attacking 50. He has to wait for the runners to gather on that side. Goods is an option short. He's called to play on now. Melcheski, and he'll set it up as best he can in the Hall direction against Hunter. Got rid of Hunter like he was a fly and took the chest mark on the wing. Jolly standing at centre half forward. Hall will keep it wider. O'Keefe lunging low down against the boundary takes the mark. He's two good kicks from goal. McVeigh makes a lead. It's a crowded setup. He might choose to stay wide of it. Wanders off his line. O'Keefe pumps it deep into the pocket. Kerr against Matthews. Matthews got a hand to it. Knocked around the boundary by Schneider. And so far around the boundary that it sneaks inside the posts. The first score of the grand final is a rush behind the Swans.
Interesting move to knock it so far along the boundary line. Waters marks the kick in, and he goes the short pass. Mark taken by Selwood. Great Southern stand side. Slow build up by the Eagles. Kick by Selwood down the line, and he picks out Hunter, who's come up the ground with Barry Hall. Glass has picked up O'Loughlin, and Hunter's gone to Hall. Beautiful low zooming pass marked by Stengline, who's had plenty of the footy in recent matches. 4 times over 25 possessions late in the season, and a perfect pass by him to Hansen, who takes the mark just behind centre wing. Good use by the Eagles, and the kick back into Stengline. He marks, just beats the attempted spoil. Now he straightens him up, kicks towards centre half forward. There's no mark taken. O'Keefe gets back there for the Swans. Gets the hand pass back to Barry. Leo from just inside defensive 50. Scrubby old kick, knocked down by Glass of the Eagles. He's run down from behind.
Oh, that's not prior opportunity though.
Split second decision. The tackler was Bolton, and he was free kicked.
Craig Bolton with the free kick. Out left half back. Jude Bolton leads for him. The mark is unattended. So Craig goes for a jaunt and delivers long to half forward. Hall and Hunter. Neither could mark. Hunter recovers the loose ball at the back of the pack. Floating hand pass for Glass. Quick one to Fletcher. Back he goes to half back. Selwood combines with Wirpunda. Working the ball around the boundary. Short kick, not 15 to Glass. Hemmed in on the boundary. Hand pass to Waters. Gets his long kick away. It'll land near half forward. Waters was the only hope in the pack. Knocked down, kicked forward by Chick onto the chest of Hansen.
This contest is going the other way from the same time last year. Hansen dominating Roberts Thompson.
He'll be on the best part of a 45-degree angle and be required to deliver from 45 metres. Coming off 2 career-high 11-mark games since returning in this final series. Ashley Hansen has 3 marks in the first 6 minutes and the first deliberate shot at goal of the grand final. Hansen's on the approach. He moves through the 50. He delivers. He hit it well. It's through. Hansen pumps his fists to the Eagles faithful. They strike first. 1 straight West Coast, 1 behind the Swans.
Oh, Hansen's been outstanding up forward. His movement all over the ground's been great. He's taken 3 marks in the first 5 minutes, but that was set up by Rowan Jones. Rowan Jones didn't touch the ball, but what he did is he banged it sideways. He was 1 against 3 on the boundary line. All of a sudden, someone came to the forward of the ball. I think it might have been Braun. Quick kick, straight into the forward line, and there he was in front, Hansen, as you should play as a forward, on a bloke who is uncertain of himself at the moment in Lewis Roberts Thompson.
I think the other thing that stands out to me, Mark, is that West Coast, like they've done probably from around about round 16, handball. They're going to handball. Even when you think they're in trouble, they're going to handball to try and get this run game to try and break up Sydney.
Umpire Vozzo making his grand final debut. Bounces. Cox knocks it down to Cousins. Beautiful hand pass away. Here come the Eagles with a kick by Braun to pull forward. The ball's knocked away by the Swans defence. Bolton hit it hard. Craig. The Eagles have it again. Brett Jones hand pass to Rowan Jones. They go backwards in possession. Stengline has it. Further back to Jones. Further back to Braun. Further back. And the Eagles, Waters, long kick, high kick towards full forward. Can they take a mark? It spills to the back. Roberts Thompson a hand pass, a little bit slick. In trouble is Buchanan. He fumbles and it's socket off the ground in the goal square by Judd. And Judd kicks the goal. Well, Roberts Thompson has the jitters. His hand pass had too much on it. And the Eagles 2 goals, Sydney 1 behind.
And I think the other thing, boys, of note is that already Hunter had gone forward. Hunter had gone forward and caused that sort of a bit of mix-up. It's interesting, Hunter, when he's gone forward, Chick had gone back onto O'Loughlin, and Glass, who was on O'Loughlin, then went to Hall. So they've got this plan worked out already. If they're going to do that, they're going to push forward. But you're right, there's just jitters in that back half, the movement of the ball, the pressure's on Orley, and you can just see they've got to get round Lewis Roberts Thompson, because you can see he's starting to worry, a little bit of panic. They've just got to get to him, they've just got to give him a little bit of support and settle the young fella down.
The Eagles have settled best. They have an 11-point lead. Cox won the tap, but Kirk intercepted the footy. Hurried kick to half forward. O'Loughlin leads the race, works back off it. Chick's right with him. They race toward the boundary. boundary. Chick keeps it out in front of himself. Wirpanda got in there, supported Chick and worked the hand pass out. The kick to half-back, those cut off. It's cut off by the Swans. Buchanan gives it to Jude Bolton. In the Hall direction he goes. Glass worked him under it. Dropped the mark. Got his hand pass out to Cox. A calm head. Gives it to Wirpanda. Now back to Cox. Working toward left half-back. He sends a grubber in that direction. Braun meets it with Ablett right on his hammer. Near the boundary. Braun keeps it in. Hand pass to Stenglein, who's mown down by Kirk and out of play under the Great Southern Stand.
Geez, that was good work by Glass. Falling over, put his hand up, just pulled the ball down in front of him, got a quick handball out. Really good work in defence.
Stenglein and Kirk on each other. The boundary throw-in. It comes down to that pair of players, but it's taken by O'Keefe of the Swans. Gets a hurried kick under pressure towards the boundary line, and we'll get a throw-in. Peter Bruckner.
Yes, the Swans have made a couple of changes. The most significant one, Nick Davis coming onto the forward line for Eamon Buchanan.
Well, it was Buchanan who fumbled the hand pass that went backwards and set up that goal for Judd from this boundary throw-in. Cox wins. It comes underfoot. Down goes Brett Kirk, and the umpire will ball it up. Umpires in green today, Michael Vozzo, grand final debut. Goldspink in his 6th, and Brett Allen in his 7th grand final.
We'll have the restart of play as Jolly and Cox wrestle for best position. Cox got his hand to it, but coming through and pinching the footy was Fosdyke, who couldn't do much with it. Nice pressure applied by Judd, and the ball skittles out of play. So the ball locked in at half forward for the Swans. Jolly got rid of Cox. He's been penalised again. Twice he's gone in the first 10 minutes. Cox starts play quickly. The hand pass to Braun floating round the back. The kick near the wing, almost intercepted by Kirk. Cut up by Roberts-Thompson. He gives it to Kirk. Under pressure as well. His is a tumbling ball through Jolly's legs. His hand pass is errant. They've turned it over. Fletcher works the footy up the line to Stenglein. Has a runner over the top in Brett Jones. He'll work it to the 50. Lynch is on the lead. Worked under the footy legally. Here's Hunter. He gathers it. Gave it to Cousins. Measured it up and rammed it through. 3 to the Eagles. They've worried the Swans off the footy a couple of times, and they have a 17-point lead to show for it after 11 minutes.
Oh, Stenglein was sensational out in the wing. Really worked hard. They made a mistake, Sydney, and they paid. It was a beautiful goal. No mistake after that. Cousins was on the end of it, coming through the forward line. Did it beautifully. Lynch under the ball, ran right past the ball. Cousins onto it, bang, goal. They are dominant at this stage. They're starting to win all the hit-outs. They're starting to win around the packs. They're very quick players, are just running away from the Swans at this stage. I don't know what they can do to stop them.
Darren Jolly, the new dad, he's made a few mistakes, and he's been interchanged for Stephen Doyle, who's in the ruck now for the Swans. Cox up high, beats him. Clean possession. The kick to Dean Cox out of the middle, high to half forward, and hugging the mark to his chest. The off-season trade, and Ted Richards takes the mark for the Swans. Kick by Richards towards the Great Southern Stand wing, out past the Brownlow medalist Goods, but Goods stays front of the pack, gathers the footy, draws a man, sweeps the hand pass out wide, out to Fosdyke, forward to the wing. He kicks inside the 50, but too wide for Barry Hall, and the ball bounces just inside the boundary line and goes out of bounds, about 45 metres around from the behind post. And it's a blitzkrieg at the moment by the Eagles. They lead 3 goals to a behind.
Hoyt back into play. Doyle got his hand to it this time. Quick kick out of the pack by Fosdyke. Hall went one-handed, didn't do enough. He got the free kick. O'Rourke played on. No, it's coming back. Barry Hall to have the set shot 20 metres out.
Glass has gone back to him and gave away the free.
The wrestle with the ball coming in quickly. Holding of the right arm, which was well outstretched. So it is to Barry Hall that the Swans turn, looking for their first, and a settler it would be. 11 goals in this final series. He gives himself a big lead up at this. Barry Hall on the approach, should be fundamental. He missed. He pushed it across the face. They have the jitters, the Swans. They're 2 behinds. The Eagles are 3 goals.
Set shot, should have kicked that. Banfield, the veteran, off the bench, kicks in short. Stenglein takes the mark. Hand pass back to Banfield, who approaches the 50. Draws a man. Braun, who missed last year's grand final. He's been prominent. Gets the hand pass to Brett Jones. A pass to half forward. Rowan Jones can't take the mark. Good defence by Richards, but the ball's up for grabs. Rowan Jones has it. Hand pass away. It's taken by Armstrong, just off the bench for the Eagles. His kick inside the 50, chopped off by Fosdyke, whose hand pass is errant and goes out of bounds, beating Ty Kennelly at defensive 50. Garlow on the boundary.
Jitters is right, Jared. The Swans really are. It's an un-Swans-like performance so far, and in contrast to the Eagles, they're just so sure of themselves and playing with a heap of confidence.
At the stoppage, Kerr was after the footy. Matthews got bumped off it. The ball remains in dispute. It won't come out. It'll be set down 50 metres from the Eagles' goal. Approaching the 15-minute mark. With West Coast by 16 points. A skew-wave bounce. Spiked out of the air by Kirk. Through half-back. Davis combines with Buchanan. They look for some run. They give the footy to O'Keefe through centre half-back. He kicks to a vacant centre half forward. Get on after it. Davis has it. Took it in the traffic. Pokes it inside 50. Doesn't reach O'Loughlin. Got a big shove from Chick, and the umpire right on hand to see it. Michael Bozzo.
How good was Nick Davis then? He took off and ran like an Olympic sprint.
How silly was Daniel Chick? All he had to do was corral him. He gave away a stupid free kick inside 50. His teammates wouldn't be happy with that.
And neither's his coach, who I think has the same view that Mark McClure does. A little more colourful.
Sydney, 4 frees to 2. But they haven't taken advantage. 2 behinds, Eagles 3 goals.
Right of centre, Michael O'Loughlin. In fact, just 3 or 4 steps in from the boundary. He'll have to deliver it from 50. It's on the extremes of his range. The Swans desperately need it. O'Loughlin from 48 gives it as best as he's got. It's to the teeth of goal. It's knocked back into the field of play. No score. Banfield bombs it outside the 50. It might come back. No, got a good bounce. It trickled away from O'Keefe and out of bounds 75 from the Sydney goal.
Surprised they didn't call that deliberate. There was no one else out there.
Throwing in between wing and half forward for the Swans. Great Southern stand side. The Swannies going to the punt road end in the first term. Comes to Doyle, but can't give him a possession for that. Spills to Cox. His hand pass is beautifully done by Judd, who gives and goes with Stenglein. Chris Judd, magnificent. And a pass onto the chest of Hansen. The hand pass into Cousins. Beautiful play by the Eagles. The kick by Cousins, not great for the forwards. Scooped off the deck here by Beau Waters to an open goal square. He's offline to the left-hand side and through for a minor score. But this is looking awesome from the Eagles. They're 3 goals, 1 leading Sydney, 2 behinds.
Just a little note too, boys, that when there's a boundary thrown or a set play up the ground, Brett Jones actually drops back. He drops off his man and he'll play. He's just camping in the hole in front of Hall.
Craig Bolton, this is a risky kick. Goods has got to come from 4 deep. Fletcher made the spoil. Rowan Jones to Kerr inside the 50. An underground ball. Can they get a good bounce? No, they can't. Kennelly, he gathers the rabbit. He's stepping back toward fullback, racked with uncertainty. Loops his hand pass over the top to Matthews, to the wing. The break is on here. It's O'Keefe, under the arm, has a bounce, stretches out. O'Loughlin's the target. He's got it. Their most precise move of the match so far.
Oh, they're the best in the business of the quick break.
O'Loughlin on the other side of goal, this to the left. A couple more steps inside the field of play. A more open shot at goal. Closer range as well. He'll make the distance from here. Michael O'Loughlin. He moves to 45. It starts left. It works back. The Swans are on the board. And you can hear the relief in the cheers. 1-2-8 Sydney after 18 minutes, trailing West Coast 3-1-19.
Oh, that's the settler they wanted. And I tell you what, O'Keefe has been significant. Some of the work that he's done already and set up. He's had 5 possessions and he's done them by breaking them open. Just unfortunate that they haven't nailed a couple they should have got, but O'Loughlin didn't let him down then. And O'Keefe is taking a well-earned rest at the moment. His work rate in this first 18 minutes has just been absolutely incredible. I reckon he's covered They're probably about 4 runs of 100, 120 metres getting up and coming back. Just great player, but that's the one they wanted because they looked in terrible trouble. West Coast had the tail up. They've dominated possession of the footy. But again, so often we've seen Sydney, their ability in trouble to work the way, this time via Kennelly, out of traffic, open the gate up, find O'Keefe. In the twinkling of an eye, the ball down the other end of the ground, they get a goal.
Bounce is perfect in the middle. Cox does a bit of volleyball but can't win a possession. Ball comes down to McVeigh. He's slung to the turf. The umpire will ball it up again. In the middle four, the 2 Brownlow medalists, Judd and Goods, are on each other. Unrestricted now, so a lot of players around this ball up. Doyle's come off the bench, but he's beaten to it by Cox down to Stenglein. Stenglin's hand pass taken away by Fletcher. Out to Selwood. Standing start kick inside the 50 for the Eagles. It comes to the front of the pack. Have they got a rover? Lynch, the big fella, at ground level. He threw it out, said umpire Allen, and it'll be a Swans free kick. Brookie.
Yes, lots of interchanges, but Ashley Hansen come to the bench too.
So Richards to send the Swans out of defence. He kicked well for Ablett. Defensive side of the wing. He looks up the line and delivers it well. Plonked it onto the chest of Buchanan. Buchanan has a look at those drifting past and those leading forward. He sets it up forward. Glass keeps Hall away from the contest. It bounces. Hall tried to swat it back into the field of play. Braun took it. Hand pass to Glass. Tied to the boundary went his pass to Selwood. He gave it to Braun. Caught. Almost dropped that. Matthews was the tackler. It was a strong tackle as well. The ball is in dispute. They reef and they tear. And a free kick is plucked out. It's a free kick to Embley.
Let him play.
He just wanted to clear it out.
Yeah.
That's all he wanted to do.
Embley for the Eagles. Halfback.
Cox has come off after 20 minutes and Doyle has come with him. So Seaby comes on. And Jolly. The Eagles working it out of defence. Banfield marks on defensive 50, Great Southern stand side. Floats a hand pass to Embley. With one hand he couldn't drag it in, but he flips the ball up to Chad Fletcher. Round the boundary line he goes to Lynch into the play for the first time. He drops a mark he might have taken out at centre wing and it flops over the boundary line for a throw in. Big Quentin Lynch with the glove on the left hand. Being picked up by last year's hero from the boundary throw in. Seaby wins. Comes down to Judd. How do you stop this man? Dual Brownlow medalist having trouble. Hand pass floats inside. Taken by Chick. Kicks towards centre half forward. 2 against 2. There's no mark. Kennelly gives chase. Puts the ball on the toe. Across the ground he goes. With him is Cousins. What a contest. Cousins goes to the ground. The Irishman beats him. Well done, Kennelly. Short pass up the ground. Ablett drops a sitter. They come from everywhere to block it up. And it'll be a ball up below the commentary box near the wing. Ty Kennelly and Ben Cousins. And points to Ireland.
Right under the commentary box is the bounce. The Eagles lead by 11 points. Thumped into the turf. Goods did the ruck work, but gave away a free kick in doing so. Darren Goldspink seen a pushing infringement on Andrew Embley. Nothing obvious to go to. Umpire loses patience. Hansen on a long lead. The kick goes in that direction. Melcheski made a spoil over Armstrong as well. It was a bit of a nothing kick from Embley. Knocked out of play.
Armstrong was wrong. The lead was on. Armstrong's ran in front of Hansen and took his man into his line.
Thrown in Seaby this time, giving away the free kick.
I reckon they've got to that exhausted stage, Dan. 20-minute mark, they're all buggered.
Yeah, you're right.
The ground.
But Sydney has got back into the contest. There's no doubt about that. They've just lifted their work rate, come up. Nothing fancy, nothing spectacular. They've just worked harder back in.
Jolly, the free kick, gave it to Kennelly. Shares it in, ball to Melcheski and gets it back. Ran his full measure, outran Armstrong, long to full forward, kicked it poorly. And Wirapunda cuts it off.
The Eagles by 11 points. 3 goals, 1 to 1 goal 2. Kick by Wirapunda to the defensive 50. Mark taken by Butler, who steers the pass up short. And the mark's taken by Kerr. He played the game despite fitness doubts, so he's kicked it straight to the opposition. And Barry Hall takes a mark for the Swans behind the wing. Sweeps the hand pass in. A chance for them to set up. Kennelly kicks out wide to half forward flank. O'Loughlin shields his eyes from the sun and takes the mark. Kick by O'Loughlin to Schneider, still outside the 50. About 60 metres out from goal, pretty close to the boundary line. 3-1 to 1-2. The Eagles lead. 23 and a half minutes gone in the opening term. Kick by Schneider. Buchanan, his lookalike, leads, but Stenglein is with him to knock the ball over the boundary line and force a stoppage.
That's one of their set plays. Outside 50, they chip just inside the 50, and the West Coast were well aware of it.
Well, we see another set play here. The Swans at the stoppage inside 50, working hard. Buchanan weaved out the hand pass, didn't find a teammate. Judd tried to bullock his way through. He got caught. The umpire crosses himself and says nothing doing. Simon Garlick.
Massive amount of changes, particularly with the Eagles. Cousins has now come off for his spell. Don't think he'll come back on the quarter. Judd yet to have a break.
The bounce is 45 from the Swans goal. Seaby threw his fist at it, didn't make much contact. Sydney free kick in the pack. It is Jude Bolton who got a high clip.
Well, he looks like a male model, but he has taken that many biffs around the head in his career. Don't know how he does it.
Oh, it's just front on by Bo Waters. It was dumb. Didn't have to do it. Inside 50, another free kick. That's 2 they've given this quarter. You can't afford to give any in the final.
Jude Bolton, 12 goals, 5 this season. The set shot directly in front. He'll be required to cover 45 metres. Bolton steadies himself, a picture of concentration. He lets fly. It's close. It's not close enough. He hooked the kick, and it is a behind. 1-3-9 to the Eagles, 3-1-19.
And Ben Cousins is back on the ground. Looked as though he could hardly lift his legs when he was coming back on. The kick towards centre wing. High bouncing ball taken by Seaby. Hand pass to Embley. Embley, a hand pass back to Waters. A hand pass further back to Embley. They've taken it from the wing all the way back to half-back.
Oh.
Brett Jones has it, kicks it across the half-back line. A tough one for Cousins. Doyle is there.
Drop the
Cousins
ball. Great tackle, Cousins. 50
It
metres
spills to
against
Barry
Hall.
Hall, who bangs towards goal. It'll be a 50-metre penalty to the Eagles.
Oh, it's fraught with danger, the kick across goal, and Cousins there, and Big Doyle thought he had him, and unfortunately Cousins just laid a great tackle and dispossessed him. The free was right, and I don't know whether Hall in this crowd might have even heard the whistle. It's just a massive roar went up. The decision had to be paid. It had to be 50 metres, but just that little indication. West Coast have got the footy, but the indication of the pressure coming on the Eagles from Sydney.
After the 50, the kick by Cousins at the front edge of the square. Big leap of the goal square by Lynch. No mark taken. Comes down Sydney's way. Kirk, a hurried kick towards the boundary line. Brett Jones marks. Hoists it back towards the goal square. He's offline, and it goes across the face of goal and through for a minor score.
And Sydney have gone to stretch. The West Coast Eagles put Doyle to full forward.
Eagles 3-2 to 1-3.
Goods played on quickly, but the kick is intercepted. Seaby brought it down. It was intended for Matthews. Selwood does the mopping up to full forward. Hanson with the run with Hunter. It reaches the back. Armstrong pounces, steadies, snaps. It's touched off the boot. It won't reach the goal line. Off hands, it's pushed wide for a throw in.
400 of them down there. They're all fighting each other for the goal. They need to spread out. You can't win the game off your own boot. You need to make some space for your mates.
The Eagles set up 15 metres from goal. Seaby's caught behind. The throw-in was a bit wonky. It missed all the ruckmen. Goods is able to gather and run through half-back. Pokes it in short to Hall. Looked to play on without really summing up the situation. Heavy tackles in the middle. Melcheski's caught up. They're getting it from Ablett. It's held up.
Yeah, that Waters got Doyle down there. It's just incredible. He's happy to go with. Looks like he's happy to stay with the match-up.
Inside the centre square. Here's the bounce deep in the first term. Jolly got his hand to it, but Fletcher pinched it. Kicks wide to half forward. It bounces away from Brett Jones. Coming through and making a good play was Embley. Hand passed inside 50. Melcheski stood his ground. Gets the wave to play on. Kicks into the middle of the G. Jude Bolton's there to meet it.
And the hand pass away to Buchanan. The whistle's gone, a 50-metre penalty. Some jumper tugging going on. And it's a Swans 50, bringing them right inside centre half forward for what you'd think is a certain goal.
I can't believe that. It was in the flow of play. Everyone knew he was going to handball it off. The player cannot just let him go and do that. He has to go with him and try and touch him. All of a sudden he gets away at 50.
Oh,
I find it extraordinary.
That's ridiculous.
But guess who gave it?
Yeah, it's a nice 50 too, by the way.
150.
Yeah.
But does he like some limelight, this bloke?
Umpire Darren Goldspink. Jude Bolton with the 50-metre penalty. He's kicking for goal from 40 metres out right in front.
Oh,
he missed the last one left, and he's missed this right. Oh, 2 shots in the opening term for 2 behinds. And it's 1-4 Sydney. West Coast 3 goals 2.
The Eagles, they brought it in instantaneously to Waters. And he sent it back across the face of goal for Brett Jones. Long he goes to the southern wing, out in front of Kerr and Matthews. Didn't take possession. Rowan Jones did. Gave it to Kerr and he broke away. Had a bounce. Gives it to Judd, who was going even quicker. Kicked to centre half forward. Hunter, the spoil was made on him. Fletcher, there's a whistle. Advantage, the Eagles. Fletcher into the pocket. Hansen's on his own.
How do you stop those blokes coming through the middle of the ground? Sydney cannot catch them. Once they get Kerr and Judd get the ball, she's all over.
Yeah, if they're prepared to do that 1 or 2 handball, which they're doing, and get him going, and again we just see the beneficiary, don't you, now of Fletcher. Fletcher getting a lot of the footy because nobody's worrying about him. They're all worried about Judd, they're worried about Kerr starting to get into the game, Cousins and now he's just starting to rack up possessions.
The kick is with Hansen, left of centre. He marches to 40, he lets fly on the right. He is up to the task again. 2 for Hansen in a grand display at centre half forward. And Jude Bolton will be feeling as sick as anyone on the ground. He has butchered 2 opportunities, and as a result, the Eagles lead by 16 points, 4-2 to 1-4.
Spot on, Jared. Absolutely butchered. And Barry Hall as well. That's 3 they butchered up in the forward line. They should have kicked, should have been right in the game, but they're not. Ashley Hansen has killed them up forward, but he's only been the beneficiary of those quick-moving midfielders who continue to win the ball and leave Sydney in their wake. The pace.
The other thing that's interesting is that they're being able to run on the inside through the centre corridor. In the past, Sydney couldn't allow that. They'd forced you to run round the boundary, but they've been able to do it. You know why? Because they're running in numbers. It's not one option, it's 1 or 2 they've had.
That's in the middle. Won by Cox for the Eagles, but it's going Sydney's way. Jude Bolton bumbles the ball forward. Now lost control of it. Kerr taken to ground when he hasn't got the footy. And Daniel Kerr will get the free kick for the West Coast Eagles at centre half-back. Eagles 4-2 to 1 goal 4. Across the ground he goes to Selwood. Kick by Selwood to Embley, who really stretches the hammies and dives low to take the mark near the logo centre wing. Kick by Embley to half forward. Hansen with a break again. This time he drops the mark. Roberts Thompson gets back after it. Works it across to Leo Barry. Hand pass to Roberts Thompson. Hand pass into Ablett at half-back. Kick by Ablett over the wing. Goods charges hard at the ball. Flips it to a teammate and it opens it up for the Swans.
He's come back.
Kick by Schneider.
Hasn't paid advantage.
Why?
Pushing the back on Adam Goods.
You tell me.
I don't believe it.
Well, this time last year in the grand final, Lewis Roberts Thompson had about 9 possessions and was best on ground. It's gone the other way this time. Hansen's killing him, kicked 2 goals. And the scoreboard's going that way as well. Eagles 4-2 to 1-4. Adam Goods, the dual Brownlow medalist, with the free at centre wing. Doesn't have time to take the kick. It's quarter time in the 2006 Grand Final, and a 16-point lead to the Eagles, trying to make up for their defeat of last year. They lead 4-2-26 to Sydney, 1 goal 4-10 for the Eagles. Hansen 2 first quarter goals, Judd and Cousins 1 each. How about that for the Stars? And Sydney, the only goal to Michael O'Loughlin, and misses. Jude Bolton has missed 2, Barry Hall has missed 1, and the other was rushed. 4-2 to 1-4 at quarter time.
Second term underway. The Eagles by 16 points. Cox won the tap. Goods came through but was dispossessed. Kerr stole the footy. Working backward to Judd, who was pegged when he got it. He still almost slips away. Got his hand pass away. Brett Jones to Stengline. Loose hand pass. Judd turns tackler. Didn't stick O'Keefe. He bounced away and delivered inside 50. Schneider couldn't take it with him. Stengline with a hand pass to Hunter. They're not out of trouble yet. Eagles free kick.
Yeah, player thrown off the ball.
So Waters to be the recipient. So there was a moment for Schneider. He couldn't find the handle on the footy.
Could have used 2 hands. Would have been helpful.
Across goal to Hunter, and he works it outside the 50 to Cox. Just pauses at right half-back. Delivers back inside for Waters. He might switch play back to the members' side. He does. He chips it to Brett Jones. The next move is not obvious.
Yeah, Ablett's got Judd, looks like now.
Ninth possession for Brett Jones. He lays back on the kick. Chick stood his ground with Buchanan monstering him and took the mark.
Yeah, terrific mark by Daniel Chick. He kicks up towards centre wing. Embley drops a mark in front of his face. Spills to the front. Selwood has a fumble. Grabbed by Jude Bolton. Hand pass to Kirk. Hand pass to Buchanan. Back to Jude Bolton. He turns Judd inside out. That's something. Kick by Bolton to Hall. Beautiful football. Barry takes the mark on the 50 near the boundary line. Thinks about running around Glass. He says to the umpire, get him back.
No, that's play on.
And he played on. He's kicked the goal anyway. He's kicked the goal.
He
Can't do that. He played on
What
sideways.
is Goldspink doing?
He's an imbecile.
What is he doing? Let him play. Hall's gone to play on. Glass has gone to run at him. And then Hall's been caught. And the umpire blows the whistle and starts saying, no, go back and you kick.
He wants to get his head on the dial.
So Big Barry played on, kicked it, it bounced in the goal square and went through. Now it's come back to him and he's near the boundary line, 52 metres from goal.
It's actually the third goal the Swans have had called back.
Big Barry Hall thumps it across the goal square and a big punch by Hunter. Rushes are behind. Quickly, some of the stats in the first term. The inside 50s to the Eagles, 15-12. The leading possession winner, Brett Jones, with 8. Plenty of 7s.
Into the field of play, the Eagles run it through half-back. Chick works his hand pass inboard and receives it back from Fletcher.
Oh, cop
Chick
that if you can.
high to half forward. Gee, they all made a meal of that. Free kick to Hansen. Advantage paid. Embley breaks. 2 bounces. Goods in pursuit. Embley goals. What's not at one end is at the other. Both in goals and umpiring calls. 5-2, 32 the Eagles. The Swans 1-5-11.
Well, if you had somebody from overseas who's trying to explain the rules of our game, you'd be knackered. Honestly. But let's get down to, again, why did this happen in the main thrust. Other than that, you know why? Because Eagles are still prepared to give and run. Give and run, break the line-up, get in. It was a terrible kick by Chick, but at least players held their ground. The ball came over the back. And Embley, he's a master at it. He got there, he was glancing over his shoulder. He saw Goods start off, it was only a half-hearted chase. So he had another bounce, then Goods really tried to chase him, but then he kept his composure and kicked the goal. And just another opportunity blown one end of the ground by Sydney, and it goes the other end in the West Coast, get the maximum points.
Cox wins the bounce in the middle down to Kerr. He slides the hand pass to Cousins, who had it and then dropped it. Has to go back and get it again. Oh, he does beautifully. Hand pass to Selwood. Short pass to Stenglein. They're running amok, the Eagles. Out to Braun. He kicks towards full forward. Interference before the ball arrives. Is the whistle gone? Brett Allen says, what? A Swans free kick. It'll come back all the way to Craig Bolton in the defensive goal square.
Actually, the players are confused now. They're all confused.
First possession to Craig Bolton. The Eagles lead by 21 points, and at this very moment the trip across the Nullarbor for all the West Australians to Melbourne is well worth it.
Nobody tends the mark. In fact, everybody's 30 metres away from Craig Bolton, and all it's doing is allowing him to run through to the defensive 50. He now finds some purpose. He delivers poorly. Barry Hall was on the lead, but Wirrpundah got in the way.
And you know why? Because West Coast are dropping back, something they haven't done before. And Beau Waters has done an enormous amount of work in this situation. He's continually just peeling off his direct opponent and just coming back trying to fill holes.
Wirrpundah shares it with Selwood at half-back. He works his hand pass sideways to Wirrpundah, who's going to switch to the southern side of the G. He kicks it to Embley. Embley will look up and see Cox making good space.
Oh, that's how many times you see him running to the boundary.
Selwood's on over the top, or he can go shorter. Gives it back to Embley. He combines with Selwood. Back to Cox. He can run through the wing, delivering long inside the 50. Wonderful kick to Hunter.
Oh, poor old, look who's on him.
Cox was the architect.
Just had no hope of cutting that one out.
And the deliverer. He's had 9, Dean Cox.
Oh, that was fantastic footy.
Hunter, who swung forward early in the game, looking for his first. He kicks from 40. He made poor contacts. And he too has missed across the face. The Eagles with a behind. Their lead is 22 points.
Swans have to do something and do it in a bit of a hurry. Leo Barry marks the kick in. Deep in the back pocket, he kicks to half-back flank. It carries a pack, and at the back, Braun, he made a difference. Missed the grand final through injury last year. He's killing them. Kick by Michael Braun to the 50. Hanson. Lynch goes to ground. It gets to the back. Taken by Craig Bolton. Oh, his hand passes straight to a dangerous area. Taken by Kennelly. Now Ablett. And they're not out of trouble yet. The kick by Ablett still inside defensive 50. Taken by Embley, who throws it on the left boot and misses to the right-hand side. And the Swans are looking scratchy. Eagles 5-3, Sydney 1-5.
Kennelly to do the kicking in. He'll watch his huddle break and try to make the best of it. The best is a poke up the middle, and he finds Barry. Barry, up the guts he goes. Fosdyke has made some space for him. He dishes off to Goods. Slides the hand pass to Matthews inside the 50, out in front of Hall. It bounces. He hasn't quite got it. Glass tries to bundle him off it. Hall knocked it sideways. Schneider was able to take it. Great vision across the 50. Keeping coming was Fosdyke, and he pops it to near full forward. The mark is taken by Matthews. They got a little ragged across half forward. They kept their heads, and this is the goal they so badly need. Doing a lot of chasing, the Swans. Ben Matthews, 4 goals, 2 for the season. He's directly in front, and 35 outs. The responsibility is his. Matthews moves in. He kicks the right foot, drop punt, and the Swans fans rise from their seats. Their second at the 8-minute mark of the second term. 2-5-17. The Eagles 5-4-34.
And wasn't it desperately needed? They've been absolutely demolished the first 8 minutes of this quarter. Haven't had the ball inside their 50 probably twice for the quarter row so far. West Coast probably have it in their side 5 or 6 times for 1 goal each. So that's a victory for the Swans. Maybe this is the turnaround they needed. It was a pretty scratchy goal, and Matthews is on the end of it, but sometimes that can help you a hell of a lot. Barry Hall has got to be their focus, but Barry's leading wide. He needs to get up the middle of the ground and in the traffic area, show his leadership amongst the team. But Matthews kicked a nice goal there, and he was one of the only ones who can actually stood up and kick it right through the middle from the start of this game.
Bounce back in the middle, favours Dean Cox. He wins the hit out too. Judd was taken by Ablett when he didn't have the footy. Guess what? Judd gets it anyway. Hand pass out in front of Cousins. Cousins runs on, 45 from goal and shoots for goal. Away to the right-hand side and misses everything. No score. The Eagles 5-4. Sydney 2 goals 5. So even when he's being molested, Chris Judd still wins the footy.
Barry kicks it in some 50 metres to Schneider. On the southern side of the ground, but not for long. He brings it to fullback for Leo Barry. He looks to complete the transfer of play. Craig Bolton's his man. He stretches out and takes the mark. He looks up. There are pairs of players wherever he looks, except sideways. And it's back to Barry. He can work the corridor. He gets the wave on from Adam Goods. A couple of bounces, Leo Barry. Really unsure now. The hand pass to Kennelly. His problem. He wheels his way onto the right. Up to centre half forward. Not a great kick. Heavy contact. Surely an umpire's whistle. A Swans free kick. It is Dempster.
Bo Waters. He plays like John Worsfold. Whack!
It's a second time.
Johnny Worsfold knew what he was doing. This kid's doing some silly stuff. I mean, there was no need to do that. He took his eye off the ball, and it's just silly stuff.
Second free kick away on the 50-metre line. That's not good enough.
Dempster tries to wave away the fog. This is from 55. He hoofs it. It's not a bad kick. Right to the teeth of goal and beyond, but off target in the stretch for the extra distance. 15 points is the Eagles' lead. 16 points.
And some misses.
It's interesting. Cox kicking in, which means you've got no tall target to go to.
Over the head of Judd, taken by Stenglein. Stenglein hand pass, looking for Judd to run on. But Judd's opponent, Ablett, gets back to take it for the Swans. Beautiful hand pass into Kirk. Off to a running Goods. He pokes the pass to Hall, but the spore's put on him by Glass. It spills here to McVeigh. Hand pass to Goods. The Brownlow medalist shoots. And it skims and bounces and into the behind post. And it'll be a throw-in. So an attacking position now for the Sydney Swans.
I think Goods is enjoying being off Judd too. He's got a good player in Stenglein on him, but Now all of a sudden he's running where he wants to go, knowing the bloke's not trying to hurt him the other way.
Cox wins in ruck again. Chance for Davis for the Swans. He works it forward, but any amount of Eagles there. It's flipped back, taken by Kirk. His hand pass away. Hand pass comes to Goods, and the kick by Goods across the face of goal, marked by Embley, and the Eagles answering the challenge, leading 34-18.
Embley dished it off to Braun. He kicks up the members' wing. Hunter's there to meet it, and he gives it to Kerr. They won't catch him. He stretches out a couple of bounces all the way to centre half forward. Big Lynch! Got it! Got it! Mark has been paid. Had a bit of a juggle with the footy. Did enough to the satisfaction of umpire Vozzo.
And listen to the cheer when he chucks the glove on the ground.
There are a fair few Eagles supporters sporting one black glove of their own as they are entering the MCG. Lynch with his first possession. It's taken until the 12-minute mark of the second term for him to get a feel of the leather. He's on a tight angle, but he's only 10 metres from goal. He's not a lock from here. He's on the approach. Lynch missed.
No, he
got
didn't.
it.
No.
Snuck in. He gave it a big run at the left-hand post, but it did enough. The full forward is on the board. 6-4-40. Sydney 2-6-18.
And trademark West Coast, wasn't it? Trademark West Coast. Embley, I thought, was very brave back in that back line. Came back, got the mark. Instantaneous feed off the ball, comes up the ground, and Hunter, coming right up from the forward line near the wing, gets it. The handball, it goes inside into the middle of the ground, and there's Kerr. He just puts the afterburners on, comes in, the long kick in, and as good as Sydney are, no side can get back. And it was all his way. He just had first sit on the ball there. The big fella went back, and I think he was pretty nervous. I think he was very nervous with that kick. He hasn't had a chance for a while. He would know that, but it went through for him, and that'll be a real lifter for him.
Eagles 6-4 to the Swans 2-6. The bounce run by Cox again, down to Judd, under pressure. Judd wheedles out a hand pass, comes away to Armstrong. Hand pass to Cox, the ruckman playing like a rover. He gathers up to Selwood. He didn't see the tackler coming, and Buchanan barrels him over. And the free kick to Eamon Buchanan, who wanted to pick up the footy and run away with it. But the umpire says you've got to come back behind the mark. And umpire Goldspink gets another photo in the paper. The free kick at centre wing. But what about Dean Cox? Kick by Buchanan off the left. Pierces the 50. Chance for the Swans. The knockdown comes from Kerr. Into a pack. Paul has a chance. Fletcher, a hand pass away for the Eagles, taken by Judd. The kick by Judd out wide. Jones is there. Brett Jones taken to ground. It was actually Adam Hunter. And then a little kick up the ground is out on the full by Craig Bolton, and an Eagles free kick on defensive 50. Great Southern stand side. It'll come back to Adam Hunter to take the free. 40-18, the Eagles in front. 14 minutes gone, second term.
Hunter just decides to drill it up the line, and Braun, yeah, he did drop the mark. He was called to play on, and he overstepped the line. And there's a bit of confusion between the two umpires know what they're doing. Yeah, Braun didn't quite complete the mark. He just bobbled it low down and then just gathered it over the line. So ball thrown back into play. Half forward for the Swans. Trying to find a way. Ablett had his kick smothered by Brett Jones. They plough on at ground level. Jude Bolton's hand pass was smothered. Cox's wasn't. It jumbles to Brett Jones. He gives it to Fletcher. He can have a run here. 3 bounces to half forward. He might decide to set sail. Long Lynch again. Top of the square this time. No angle. On the break.
Gee, how good were their hands? How good were their hands under pressure?
The kick was perfect. It came up just a metre short of the contest between Barry and Lynch. Lynch able to lunge forward. Point blank range. Looking for his second. He's got it. The Eagles with a substantial break now. 7-4-46. The Swans, 2-6-18. We've gone 16 minutes of the second term.
Well, you wonder why Lynch looks good, because they have got the most magnificent midfield, and their work around the ruck is absolutely destroying the Swans. Can't get their hands on it. Cox has been outstanding. Then Fletcher. We've seen Kerr run through the middle of the ground and have 5 bounces, and then we watch Fletcher run through the middle of the ground and have 5 bounces. Then he could have gone all the way, but no, he saw Lynch in the goal square and went bang. Did the team things. Their give, run and give again has been outstanding, and they've broken the heart of the Sydney Swans. I don't know how they're going to get back into the game.
Quentin Lynch took a while to get his hands on the footy, but he's kicked 2 goals this quarter. From the bounce, there's a centre square infringement and an Eagles free kick. It goes to Dean Cox. He takes it quickly, puts it out wide, and the mark taken by Stenglein. The West Australian who was drafted to the Crows and returned back home. Kicked by Stenglein towards half forward.
Sydney have pushed it all back really desperately now. Every one of their players is now pushing into the back half.
Butler takes the mark and squares the ball back to Stenglein.
They're going to try and wreck the spectacle.
Back out wide to Butler. Right half forward. He hoists it high, short of the goal square. Lynch and Hansen both up. No mark taken. Comes down to the front of the pack. Hunter gets a hand pass to Judd. It's jolted out of his arms by Ablett. Spills to Kirk. Now to Buchanan, who slips a tackle. Eamon Buchanan carried it for a while and then left foots the ball to centre wing. And that is a fantastic mark taken back there for the Eagles by Chick. Chick, a short pass out wide. Gee, they've got a big lead, 7-4 to 2-6, and they're patient.
Embley has the footy called to play on, works the hand pass over the top to Butler. He took an eternity to make a decision, not a great one, but Goods went the bump on Stenglein instead of the tackle. Stenglein emerged with the footy to Braun, to full forward. Lynch is up, so is Hunter, no mark taken. In the confusion at the bottom of the pack, they fight on for the footy. Ball comes out, finally knocked defensive side of the pack for the Eagles. Ablett tackled by Hansen, no clear possession. It finds its way to Kennelly. He's almost run down. Hand pass to Hall. He ducks back through the traffic. Ugly kick around the corner. Craig Bolton unsure. Judd was coming at him. Who wouldn't be? It's the most human display of the day. He got it to Schneider. Long to the 50. Davis takes the mark. He can play on. He kicks to full forward. O'Loughlin. He kept his footing when Chick didn't. And 10 metres out directly in front. Mickey O'Loughlin should kick his second.
Started by Kennelly.
Here's O'Loughlin over the kick. It's elementary stuff. He kicks with the right. He's missed.
No.
There's going to be a conversation between field umpire, 2 field umpires and the goal umpire. The field umpire in the centre of the ground is signalling a goal. The goal umpire didn't know. He signals a goal as well. It wasn't convincing stuff. I look forward to seeing the replay. O'Loughlin looks hurt to my eye as well. 3-6-24 Sydney. The Eagles 7-4-46. 22 points is the margin at the 19-minute mark. Grandstand AFL on ABC Local Radio and Radio Australia.
Gee, they haven't had a great game so far, but fantastic what just happened then. I mean, their performance just under pressure in that back line, and to get it out there, Kennelly brave as anything, took them on and run. Hall came right up the ground near the half back line to get it. Now I thought some superb work by Davis to win the one-on-one, then get it in quickly to O'Loughlin and kick the goal. One totally against the flow, but just a vital one. Such an important goal. That'll give them a big lift. That'll give them a real spur at the moment. There's a fair bit going on behind the play, let me tell you.
And Hall's coming in with Glass, and I think Barry Hall reckons, I don't care if I get suspended, this is a grand final, I'll serve the time next year. From the middle, it comes away to the Eagles. The hand pass goes to Cousins. Hurried kick out very wide towards the wing. Brett Jones leads the race, but the ball beats him out of bounds.
Hall's given it to him. Now he's into Embley as well. He's not mucking around, Baz.
He actually played his 100th game straight last week since his last suspension. Boundary throw in. Knocked away by Seavey, but straight into the hands of Kennelly. Well done, Ty Kennelly. Gets the hand pass to Fosdyke. Fosdyke's kick in the direction of O'Loughlin.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, Roberts Thompson pushed and then dropped the mark.
And the umpire didn't see it.
Oh, they're gone to sleep now.
Malcheski was pulled off the ball when he didn't have it. Now the Eagles run it out of defence. Rowan Jones knocked off the ball, taken by Buchanan. The Swans having a good few minutes, but the kick is marked by Selwood on defensive 50.
Selwood's got Embley making space on the southern wing. He stretches out. The chases from Buchanan. It's futile. Long he goes. Armstrong against the boundary in the right forward pocket. He's no stranger to grand finals, Stephen Armstrong, but they're not usually in front of this many fans. He's played back-to-back premierships in the VFL with Sandringham before making his way to the Eagles as a rookie. He's been called in and he has a chance to goal. From the pocket, it was narrow. He missed a behind. 47 plays, 24. Simon Garlick.
Really uncharacteristic or unfamiliar Swans looking unit from down here, Jared. They are fumbling, the skill errors, and they're just arguing amongst each other, which you don't normally see. Just the pressure from the Eagles is basically giving the Swans some of their own medicine.
And Roberts-Thompson, who was flogged early by Hansen in the first quarter, has come back on in the second and gone to full forward.
They can't hide him anywhere, Drew.
Jude Bolton marks the kick in, gives it back to Kennelly. This bloke's such a positive. Oh, he's slipped over, trying to beat Cousins. He loses the ball.
He's
Cousins
got him,
it.
paid the free.
He's holding the ball tight, Kennelly. And I was just going to say, he is so positive, the Irishman. And he was trying to be positive, but he tried to turn on sixpence. And over he went, lost the ball, holding the ball.
And the West Coast players are over having a chat to him, telling him to. Don't worry about that.
Oh, that is a disaster. Cousins in front, 40 out. Goes for the goal and kicks it. Cousins got two. And the Eagles have a big break late in the second quarter. 8-5-53 to Sydney, 3-6-24.
I expect the unexpected, and Cousins just chased hard. Kennelly did the right thing. I want to see him try things. Sydney need to try things. He did exactly the right things, and his teammates should be getting around him and saying, go again. We want you to do it again. Made a mistake, fell over in front of the wrong bloke. One of the little chants who runs hard, the hardest runner in the game in Cousins, and he hasn't let him down. 2 goals so far. He's been outstanding, 1 in the first and 1 in the second. His takeaways from the centre, he must have had 5 or 6 already for the game.
29 points is the West Coast lead. They answer the goal from O'Loughlin. They await the restart of play. It's a good bounce. Cox clearly wins the tap, and he placed it well for Judd. He broke the first tackle, not the second. Buchanan got him. The ball jarred out of his hands, and holding the ball has been paid. Selwood streaks away and has a bounce, but didn't dispose of it. So not 50. He's a bit lucky not to get 50 against him on the return. He missed Buchanan. Buchanan's got to start behind his mark on the correct line before he can trundle away. And a lot of numbers.
Yeah, look at West Coast pushing back. You think they don't do it now?
McVeigh made the best of the lead, so that's where the kick goes. He leaps up over Hansen, but couldn't bring it down at ground level. Dempster around his ankles, coughed it up. Ham passed it straight to Lynch, who's one of those who pushed back. There wasn't much on up forward. He kicks wide. Leo Barry's clean bowled by it. Daniel Kerr hand passes up the line. He slips the tackle of Barry. Oh, that's magical work from Kerr.
Oh, look at this.
He laid it off to Judd. It's like a relay. He had a bounce. He hand passes up the line. Couldn't find the next man. They dropped the bat and it's out of play. 29 points.
How good are these guys? They are great, aren't they?
They ran out of their lanes. Over the boundary line. Boundary throw in. Stengline and ruck. Actually, Goods wins the hit out for the Swans. First after it is Cousins. He is a marvel. Hand pass to Wirrapunda. He gathers.
Cousins got dealt with.
Ground,
Barry.
yes. And Barry Hall's in there. He wants to take them all on. Well, you can't get a kick, Baz. Cousins with the free kick. He goes by hand.
No,
the umpire's going to make him do it again. Umpire Goldspink.
Oh, he wants some camera, this bloke. Fair.
How's he going in the votes?
Oh, he's killed him.
Number 32 in green. Cousins kicks the ball in and 40 metres backwards. And the mark's taken by Banfield. That centre half back. Sweeps the hand pass up to Selwood. 53-24. Close to half time. The Eagles lead. Selwood a bounce. Up to the logo. Off the left. Inside half forward with the kick. Looking for Hunter. Ball chopped off by Kirk. A couple of taggers playing on each other. Stengline and Kirk. Kirk the hand pass out to Craig Bolton. And now to Nick Davis. Pushing way back to half-back flank.
He kicks looking for Roberts-Thompson. He
good
clutched
boy.
this one.
He needed that.
He did. Maybe the start of something. Robert Thompson has the ball at the interchange gates. He's going to have to boot it as best he can toward half forward. Hall's in the pack. They're all up. Wonderful mark by Waters. The Eagles repelling everything. Waters looks up the line. He chips it in for Fletcher. Didn't quite get it. Kirk's in pursuit. Fletcher dropped it cold. It bounces out of play.
Look at Big Barry. Barry's into it again. There could be multiple reports out of this.
This is the time when West Coast have to consolidate. They cannot let them score from here on in.
Doyle's into the ruck, but Cox won it down. Goods plucked it. His kick was smothered by Cousins. The ricochet falls for Hunter. He gave it to Judd. Hand pass was indiscriminate. McVeigh plucked it out. Quick kick inside the 50 comes off as Davis takes the mark.
That is the problem. You cannot let them score in time on. You can't let them in and try and kick a goal because you can't give them a chance. Sydney might come back.
Nick Davis is 10 metres in from the boundary right of centre. He's 35 from goal. He's the man you want with this sort of sharp shot. Davis needs to deliver a couple of steps. He put it through. He is reliable. The Swans get one in the shadows of half-time. 4-6-30, trailing the Eagles 8-5-53.
Well, the significant thing too is that Sydney are just not playing any good football. I mean, all the best football is being played by West Coast. There's no doubt about that. But Sydney's ability to hang in, and 4 goals is not a massive amount in this game. So make no bones about it, they're not out of it. And I think Mark was right. I mean, you can't allow them to get a goal back, and you really need to consolidate for all your good work. As much as they're dominating, still Sydney, just by endeavour, the smother, the quick kick out, and then taking the most of your opportunities. And Davis was fantastic from that point of view. It was such an important goal. A lot of other players might have got caught up in the occasion, but no, he delivered the goods.
At the 28-minute mark, Cox wins the hit out. Comes down to Doyle, though, his opponent. A very high ball goes nowhere. It was going to be play on, so it's punched out of the air by Rowan Jones. Comes back to Jones. Hurried kick from a standing start. Back over the circles. Kirk gets rid of his opponent. Taken to ground, Brett Kirk. O'Keefe is in there. He's holding it. He's pinged for holding it. O'Keefe. And it'll be an Eagles free kick to be taken by Michael Braun. Front edge of the centre square. He kicks inside the 50 to Lynch out wide. And the sticky hand, sticky glove pulls in the mark. 3 marks in this second quarter. And the glove goes down. And West Australians go up. Oh, it's become a real sideshow in football. The left glove coming off. Out in the bright sunshine. Great Southern stand side. The Eagles going to the punt road end in this second term. They lead by 23 near half time. Lynch from 55. Oh, it's pretty good to the goal line. And it's helped through by Roberts Thompson. He just got it in the field of play to Russia behind.
The Swans maybe with one flurry down the ground before this interval is called. Malcheski will start it. His huddle breaks for him. Most to the southern side. Roberts Thompson made the best of it. He's going to receive it. 40 from the defensive goal. He looks up. He can run away. Has a bounce and clears defensive 50. He hoiks it to the wing. Doyle's too far back. Butler almost took the mark. Didn't matter. He brought it down and plays on. Hand pass to Cox. Hand pass to Embley. Hand pass to Fletcher. Forward he goes to Lynch. He's 90 out. He might have a shot. He chips for 50 instead. Hunter! And Hunter is within his range. He's going to play on quickly. Cousins demanded it. The ball bounces before it reaches him. He takes on McVeigh. Works the hand pass back to Hunter.
Oh, no.
Tricky kick. Bouncing toward goal. Cut off by Malcheski, who hammers it through for the rushed behind.
Poor kick by Hunter. Should have put it at the top of the square. You do the team things when you got them their foot on their head. You put it on them again.
Oh, they could have been dangerous from the kick in, the Swans, but the siren beats them. And Hunter, 13 possessions for the game, but 9 in that second quarter.
Give us the score, Drew.
There is no score there.
It just went. It was 180 plays 92.
Oh.
The scoreboard just had a brain fade.
What you need at a ground is the scoreboard to tell you the score, but there's nothing to give us the score here at the minute. And it is 8-7-55 to 4 goals 6-30, a 25-point lead to the West Coast Eagles at half-time.
The third term, the Premiership quarter underway. The Eagles by 25 points on grandstand footy. Drew Morphy.
Seavey played just 26 minutes for 3 possessions in Adelaide last week. The bounce by umpire Allen to start the second half. Cox hits the ground hard but gets the hand pass away to Fletcher. A kick out of the middle by Stenglein, and the Eagles go forward. Judd sprints after the ball. He's going far better than Favola did in the half-time sprint. Gathers the kick out wide. Judd follows up and gathers the ball again. Almost taken to the boundary line, but he keeps it alive. The hand pass in, taken by Kennelly of the Swans. He shares it and gets it back from Goods. The kick by Kennelly up short of centre wing, and Schneider takes the mark. He works it on quickly. He takes his own hand pass. Might have got a high tackle. It comes back to the Swans. Kennelly in for the third time in the movement. Socket up towards half forward. Hall is there, loses control of it. Lynch back on the back line for the Eagles. Out wide to Wirapunda. The hand pass up to Braun. He's too slow. He's run down from behind, and the free kick goes to Schneider.
Schneider played on, then changed his mind. He was called to do so. Gives it to Fosdyke. Chips over the top in the O'Keefe direction. Led Brett Jones under the footy. O'Keefe gets it back onto the boot. O'Loughlin's his target. Hunter threw himself at it. Hall with the crumbs over the top. O'Loughlin tried to push Fletcher away. Got it to his boot and goal. It was labour intensive, but the Swans get the first of the second half. 5-6-36 with O'Loughlin's third. The Eagles 8-7-55.
And so obvious in this 1.5 minute, this is going to be play on at all costs. That's the comment that I've picked up with what Paul Roos has given it. Because they've had a player on it, it doesn't matter. They're just given, they've actually tried to do what West Coast has done in that first thing. Is play on, give a handball, run, get it in quick, cause some panic and things like that. And a good goal. I thought Brett Jones made a terrible decision out on their side there. Trying to do what he did, being a little bit smart rather than corral his man. Open the door up, but there's some good play by the two guns. Hall and O'Loughlin working together, and O'Loughlin under pressure. Very smart play goal.
Bounce in the middle, the whistle's gone, and it's going to be an Eagles free kick to be taken by Cox. He goes by hands out to Kerr. Kerr has a bounce, straightens himself up, back in the corridor, fires the hand pass to Cousins. What a combination. The hand pass to Jones. And Brett Jones brought to a standstill, blazes for goal, and it's a way off line, missing to the right-hand side and out of bounds on the full. So just the Eagles put under a little bit of pressure, and maybe the Swans are going to handball at all costs and match the Eagles for their use by hand. It's 8-7 the Eagles, 5 goals 6 the Swans. Sydney with the first goal of the second half.
Richards starts in the back pocket and crosses the face of goal for Dempster. Matthews runs forward for Dempster. He's unsure. Should have given. Dempster's now committed to run on himself. He's given the corridor. He has a couple of bounces. They come at him now. 3 bounces in total. He kicks forward to the middle. Free kick. He was downed after he got rid of it. Dempster made the play. Schneider's the recipient. Long he goes for Hall. He's in front. He can't hang on. At the drop is Hunter. He feeds off his hand pass for Chick. Back he goes to Glass at fullback. Across the face of goal for Fletcher. They'll play the southern side, the Eagles. The kick's for Stenglein. He looks up. Embley couldn't make the break. Stenglein's outside the boundary. Looking to go forward. He might have to roost it up to a contest. Hansen will be his best hope. Craig Bolton flies with him. At the drop is Braun. Squeezes out the hand pass brilliantly to Embley. He's away and he's on. Has a bounce. 48. Unguarded goal. Splendid footy on the counter-attack. The Eagles answer the first volley from the Swans. 9-7-61. Sydney 5-6-36, Embley's second.
Oh, great play by the West Coast Eagles. If you want to send your best out here, we're going to send it back to you straight away again. That's the answer you require. Straight away, Embley kicks a goal, but the defence was outstanding. Glass down there, Wirapunda, Chick, They just repelled it beautifully. They worked hard on their players, got it out to the wing, and then straight down. And he ran hard, Embley. He's been outstanding. Nearly BOG at this stage. I can't say that, but almost BOG at this stage. He's kicked a couple of goals. He's been terrific. He's running through the lines and added to the other midfielders. They are just superb.
Well, he's had a massive final series, 29 possessions and 24 in his last 2 finals. Another big one here today, leading possession winner on the ground. Swans might have got their hands to it in the middle here this time, but the Eagles have it now with Braun out wide near the logo. The kick by Braun bounces inside the 50. Embley virtually pushed into the footy, goes to ground, spills to Kerr, gets the hand pass to Selwood. Selwood run down and a good tackle by Kirk. Now the Swans have it. Buchanan gets a hand pass out. A bit slick for Kennelly. And they've turned it over again. Braun taken to ground. He hasn't got the footy. The Swans emerge with it. And Kennelly's hand pass down the line flops out of bounds. And the Eagles fans over there reckon they deserved a free kick. But nothing doing. And it'll be a boundary throw in. Umpires in green. 61-36. The Eagles leading. 5.5 minutes gone in the third quarter. Cox wins another hit out. Doesn't clear the area though. O'Keefe for Sydney. His kick smothered. Taken by Brett Jones. Hand pass to Braun. He centres the ball. Hansen takes the mark in the corridor. In front, 40 out.
Again, they win another boundary throw-in. They continue to win the ball through the midfield.
They've been fantastic. They're just getting numbers. The whole thing we keep saying right throughout the year when we talk about this game is get numbers to the footy, because even if a teammate's got it, he can honour the call. And if he gives it straight away, and that's what happened out there, and Braun just got the ball on the left foot, got it in there, and Hansen was in the right position. It was kicked to the centre, just gave him every opportunity.
Ashley Hansen had kicked 15 goals, 15 for the season, but he's kicked 2 straight. And he misses again for this set shot right in front. He's now kicked 2 goals, 1. It's a thing that does bother him a little bit. And the Eagles 9-8-62 lead Sydney 5-6-36.
Simon Garlick on the boundary.
Yeah, it's just amazing to see the reactionary tactics of the Swans. We've talked about that in their style of play, and just their bench, they're really going on and off with certain players and trying to react to what the Eagles players are doing.
Schneider in long. Goods took a nice contested mark. Hit the ground and played on. Beautiful to the logo for Melcheski. It opened up for him to a one-on-one. Davis. Nick Davis found himself with David Wirapunda. The kick was perfect. And Davis can go back and kick his second.
For all his faults, he gets it okay, doesn't he, Nick Davis?
Significant thing to me is that Goods went the mark. Goods called for the ball and went the mark. He's got to do more of that. He's got to demand it and start to play above the shoulders rather than just running onto the ball,
it's
receiving.
A must for Davis. He kicks from 35. He doesn't miss. He's a beauty on the set shot. What Hansen misses at one end is a goal for Davis at the other. His second, and the margin back to 20 points.
And a significant one again. Sydney in this quarter just looking a little bit cleaner, and I said just the fact that Goods from the kick out really wanted the ball, demanded it, was able to get it and then release it through the midfield, looked up there, found his man in Melcheski there, gave it to him, and all of a sudden the ball's down the other end, and that's all Davis wanted. Got Wirapunda on him, stronger in the body, held his ground, and he doesn't miss many opportunities. They're right in this contest, let me tell you.
Well, they're so rarely blown apart, the Swans. Their worst loss for the year was to the Crows by 39 points. So it was as bad as it gets, 25-point deficit at half-time. But they're coming back. The bounce in the middle. Doyle camped underneath it and wins the hit out. And Goods hacks it out of mid-air and gains 40 metres. The ball up towards the 50. Hall works his man off it. Drops the ball though, attempts to hack it off the ground and is pulled away from it. Whipped away by Wirapunda for the Eagles. Here's hand pass to Selwood. Swans fans wanted a free kick for Barry Hall. Selwood's hand pass comes into Fletcher near the boundary line. He kicks over centre wing, vacant forward line. The ball lands on its point. It's knocked towards the boundary line by Richards for the Swans. Fosdyke keeps it alive. Well done. And a pass up towards centre wing. A half volley almost to Jude Bolton. He regathers. Hand pass to Buchanan. They're going far better now, the Swans. Off to Goods, the Brownlow medalist. He kicks to centre half forward. Wirapunda beats Davis this time. But Davis recovers. Gets the hand pass away. Chopped off by Glass. Davis still working. It comes out. Melcheski. A high ball in the direction of O'Loughlin. He paddles. He traps. It spills to O'Keefe. Smothered by Wirapunda. Has done great things a couple of times in a row. Comes out to Malcheski again. He goes to ground. 25 from goal. Is he holding it? Umpire says, give it to me. I'll ball it up. We have a game of footy. 20 points the difference. The Eagles in front.
Oh, this is what we came to see. Some hard crash and bash. It's good.
Brilliant passage of play. Doyle and Cox. Cox knocked it straight to O'Loughlin. The flying snap. No. Too severe was the hook on the footy. It's 19 points at the 10-minute mark of the third term.
And you can just hear with the hubbub in the crowd that all of a sudden we have a contest now. Kicked in short by Waters. Selwood marks deep in the back pocket. He kicks over half-back flank. Goods and Judd, they shoulder each other, and Judd wins the football magnificently. Hand pass to Stenglein. His pass up to centre wing. Rowed by Fletcher. His hand pass straight to Kirk of the Swans, who hand passes to Goods. Blind hand pass in, a fumble by the Swans. They didn't need one then. That was Dempster. Swans go up towards half forward again. Waters is back there with a hand pass back to Braun. A high ball up towards centre wing.
Oh, this play.
Oh, look at Kerr. Take it away on the bounce, on the fingertips. Beautiful play. Left foot pass. Lynch dives and marks close to the ground. Beautiful football, Daniel Kerr.
Oh, he's a gem. He is a gem. He's had enough, though. He's coming off.
Fitness doubt before the game. Down goes the glove off Quentin Lynch as Kerr runs a good 100 metres or more to get to the interchange bench. Beautiful football by Kerr. Nearly won the Brownlow last year, suspended this year, nearly got the votes again. Lynch. This will be a 55-metre kick from near the boundary line. At the city end of the MCG. A straight leg approach and follow through. What a beautiful kick by Lynch. Why did they ever have him on the back line? He can kick your goals. He's got 3.
Oh, sensational, Lynch. He's been great up forward, but what about the attack on the ball by Daniel Kerr? Ball coming through, 3 players running at it. He just went straight through the middle of the hole, didn't look at anyone else. They all pulled out of the way because they knew he was going to go at it. He didn't flinch one iota. Brilliant stuff. Then ran around, had 2 bounces, and then hit the big fella on the chest. Brilliant play, and that's what you need to do if you're going to win grand finals. Keep your eye on the ball, run hard, run straight, and win it, and then deliver it. Execute properly. Execution is the key. And then Lynch went back and banged it from 50. He's an asset, the big fella. He's kicked 3. If we reckon he could kick 4, they'd win, and I reckon you're going to be right.
If he kicks 3 or better, the Eagles win. They've done it all year. They lead by 25 points for all the effort exuded by the Swans. They're no better off than they were at the break. Cousins is after the footy from the stoppage. He can't get it. Hand passed out away from Schneider. It falls for the Eagles, but not for long. Repelling is Fosdyke. Inside the 50 he goes. Chick had the fly hack off it at mid-air. It ricochets. Hall tackles Waters. Fierce stuff. Hall wants the free kick. He's surely got a claim. No, a bounce.
What was Daniel Chick thinking?
Oh, geez, I don't know.
Put
I think
your hands
he thought
down,
he was
son.
playing for Melbourne victory.
40 from the Swans goal. Can they manufacture something here? Doyle knocks it to the open side. Davis is caught by Banfield. He's dragged off the footy. Banfield follows up. His hand pass almost intercepted by Hall. Not quite. Glass is in a tackle. He got a hand pass. Kirk got a hand pass. Schneider out of mid-air was as silly as chicks, and it's cut off by Brett Jones. He has a look downfield, delivering to the wing. Hanson coming up the metre. Big collision with his own man, Rowan Jones. They fight for the ball, and Fletcher emerges with it for the Eagles. Embley's his target. Worked under it by Dempster. Eagles still a chance.
What a
tackle laid by Matthews. Umpire crosses himself, and Armstrong will wonder what hit him.
Here's the bounce inside the centre square. Cox wins another hit out. Emerging is Judd. Kick inside the 50. Hanson. Spall put on him by Richards. It comes to the front. The hand pass away. Rowan Jones out wide to Butler. 65 metres from goal. He concedes some ground. And the mark's taken by Selwood. Selwood goes across the ground. Beautiful setup by the Eagles. The mark to Braun. The pass by Braun. Michael Embley. Beautiful football. That ball has flames coming off it. So good was the kick. It never got above eyebrow height. Phenomenal. Well, Michael Braun, has he made a difference? Missed the grand final last year because of injury. And he has been sensational today. Andrew Embley for goal. He's kicked 2. 68 plays 43. 25-point lead to the Eagles halfway through the third quarter. Embley from 40 metres misses another set shot. And, by gee, they've missed some set shots, both teams, in this game. 10-9 to 6 goals 7.
That's how they go, though, West Coast. They failed. We saw this last week. They failed to nail chances they should have got, and as a result, the opposition are always in the game.
The lead is 26 points. The kick-in had a moment of nervousness about it when Matthews was made to scramble to mark, but he did. He kicks out wide into the back pocket for Richards. Richards has nothing obvious to go to, either long or short. So he goes up the boundary line and turned it straight over. Braun took the chest mark, hit the ground running, thumps at the full forward. Armstrong working back on the footy. Punder's still a chance. Armstrong's a chance as well. Work the hand pass to Cousins. Snaps on the right. Missed near side. Another behind. 27 points the Eagles lead.
They're squandering too many chances.
Yep.
You've got to take your chance when you get it, because you don't get too many in this life.
Kennelly kicks to himself, has a couple of bounces, gets outside the 50, floats a hand pass already inside the centre square, taken by Melcheski. His hand pass is knocked down, and it's come unstuck for the Swans near the centre circles, and we'll have a ball up. Good defence by the Eagles.
I know it's a final, don't be too hard, but young Armstrong, for a small play, just is very poor below his knees.
Knocked out by Jolly, comes to Kirk, through Malcheski it goes. Fosdyke kick on the bounce to Hall at centre half forward, and pass to Goods. Here's the Brownlow medalist to Roberts Thompson. He gets to 30 and breaks the tackle and kicks the goal. Lewis Roberts Thompson gets on the scoreboard in a game that's been a bit of a nightmare for him, and Sydney 7-7 trail the Eagles 10 goals 10.
It has been a bit of a nightmare, but well done, young fellow. Good goal, under pressure, attacked from behind, but set up by Goods' hard running off Judd. Right off Judd in the middle of the ground, took them on and started to run, and they need to do more of it. Continue to take them on. You can't worry about the scores the other end. They need to score. They need to kick 16 goals to win this game. They got another 9 to go.
Again, the Swans make the parry. Can they follow up with the thrust and really eat into this margin?
Adam Goods, 6 possessions this quarter.
21 points.
He's come back into a head-to-head with Judd.
Bit of reorganisation in the middle.
So it's 6-4.
3 Brownlows between them.
Jude Bolton and Kirk switch places for the bounce. It is set down now. Seaby flies. Jolly palmed it down at ground level, though the Eagles with the numbers, but not for long. O'Keefe turned the tackler, and Brett Jones has been pinned. The Swans are a chance here. O'Keefe has the free kick in the middle. He wheels onto the left, kicks it to the hot spot. They need a grab. Roberts Thompson flew. The fist was laid on it. Near goal. Hunter slips over against the boundary. Played on, worked the hand pass inboard to Waters and got it back. And stabs it onto the chest of Selwood.
How good was that by Hunter?
He worked the line well. Selwood kicks to half back. Spoil made by Richards on Hansen at the fall of the ball. Jude Bolton with Chick. They squabble over it. The ball is knocked out of play.
Are we going to get another one of those nail-biters that these two teams deliver time and time again? Boundary throw in. Seaby wins, but the ball sits up high for Jolly. No. Jolly's hand pass straight to Judd. What a mistake you've made, son. Here comes Judd, a bounce off the left. He kicks to Lynch. Not quite. Leo Barry gets a hand to it to flip it away from him, and Leo actually gets the free kick for a push in the back. It's wide open now for the Swans. Out wide to Fosdyke. Bounces a couple of times.
Snyder's on.
Fosdyke cruises through the wing. Great Southern stand side. He kicks. Oh, he went for a short pass. Adam Hunter was brilliant again. Knocks the ball to the front. Comes to Embley. Hand pass away to Judd. Hunter's kept running. Gets it back from Judd. Forward to the wing. Gets the hand pass away. And here they are, glass forward to the centre. Across the ground to Stenglein. His kick to the 50. And the Eagles have worked it beautifully. Brett Jones takes the mark. Short pass into
it's a
Kerr.
terrible kick.
It was a shocker, but Kerr was on the end of it. But even he couldn't gather this one. It comes to Kennelly of the Swans. They're on the rebound again, trailing by 21 points.
Richards got it and gave it. Fosdyke receives at the wing, inside the 50. Davis isolated again, one-on-one with Banfield, and he took the mark.
Brilliant pass by Fosdyke. He really hit him. He had no chance, Banfield, at all, and Davis just threw his body in front of him. Great kick by Fosdyke.
Halfway through the third quarter, Davis from 55. That's the assignment for him. The angle's better than 45 degrees. He can drag the Swans as close as they've been basically since quarter time. He gives it a roost right to the line, touched, and a rush behind into the post. 20 points, the Eagles lead.
And the Eagles have brought it in quickly to Waters, who kicks to defensive 50. And the mark taken for the Eagles here by Adam Selwood. Shadows encroaching on the ground, about a third of the ground in sunshine. Kick by Selwood up towards centre wing. Disciplined punch from behind by the Swans, and the ball out of bounds near the interchange gate below the commentary box. 70 to 50, nice even round figures. And the Eagles in front. They led by 16 at quarter time and 25 at half time. Goods wins in the ruck. Down to Fosdyke. He gets some sort of a hand pass away. Gathers his own footy. Hand pass to O'Loughlin. Bounces the ball to the 50. Lewis Roberts-Thompson gets a hand to it. Comes to Richards. He runs out of room. Taken to the boundary line by Glass. And that will be a throw-in. 50 metres from goal for the Swans. Trailing by 20.
Kicked 3 goals to 2 this quarter, the Swans. Hoyt back into play. Can Doyle make something of it? Cox wins the tap down to Kerr. He went under and took them on, got his hand pass away to Selwood. He combines with Banfield. Has a look into the middle of the G. Sets it up. They're closing from all directions. Embley goes. Dempster's the tackler. Hand pass for Fletcher. Now to Embley. It broke for him and he got run down.
Beautiful.
Great chase.
Richards.
Ted Richards. When Embley could see the way forward.
He would have won the sprint at half-time if he'd been in it. What a chase.
Richards from the southern wing. He sets it up wide. He finds O'Keefe. 70 from goal. Roberts-Thompson goes on a lead. Davis makes a promising lead. That's where the kick goes. It's over the top of Davis and Wirrpunda. Davis kicks it off the ground. Dangerous spot. Jude Bolton gathers. He got it to Kirk. Flying shot. It's there. It hit the post. Oh, it was online all the way.
Looking stronger though, Sydney. Dead set looking stronger, no doubt whatsoever. A lot of West Coast blokes, and I think a lot of their blokes in their back line are just struggling. They can't keep with them. And a little bit of panic's just setting in that West Coast back line.
19 points West Coast's way.
Cox marks the kick in the back pocket. Doesn't play like a tap ruckman. Amazing around the ground. Kicks across the face of goal to Waters, the youngest player in this grand final at the age of 20. And he steers the pass short to Selwood. Still inside defensive 50. He sets the kick up and it was dangerous. But Butler was good enough to take a ride in the back and win the football. Half back to half forward with his kick. Out wide, over the boundary line on the bounce, and we'll have a throw-in with the Eagles back into attack. 10-10-70 to Sydney, 7-9-51, and we're at the 23-minute mark of the third quarter. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Grandstand AFL on ABC Local Radio and around the world on Radio Australia.
At the fall at the stoppage, Kirk caught in a tackle of Kerr. Hand pass turned over to Fletcher. Backward he goes to Braun. Broke through 2 tackles, Braun. Checked himself. Hand pass to Stenglein. Lynch is on the lead and he takes the mark near the boundary.
It's a good player, Braun.
Very good.
Very good player, Braun.
Underestimated by most.
Lynch ditches the glove.
Judd was coming to the bench. Goods following him, and then Judd does a U-turn and goes back.
Hasn't done enough work.
We'll check in
Needs
on
another
Judd
couple
in
of
a
miles
moment.
to go.
Lynch starts in the gutter. He's kicked 1 long-range goal already in this term. Right of centre, on the approach. It's wide. It is out on the full. No score. Peter Brookner.
Yes, Judd ran to the bench holding his wrist and then decided he would stay on, so we'll keep an eye on him.
Swans need to go from one end of the ground to the other. A hand pass comes into Kennelly. He gives the hand pass off to Schneider. Kick by Schneider up near centre wing. Jude Bolton, good trap. Gives the hand pass to Roberts Thompson. Going backwards. Hand pass back to Schneider. He beats Braun. Floats one to Jude Bolton. Going a lot better now, the Swans. Through Roberts Thompson to Matthews near the circles. Kick by Matthews. Richards at half forward. Was it a mark? No, said the umpire. Craig Bolton is there. Richards emerges with the footy. Gives the hand pass to O'Keefe. Into Hall. Hall goes to ground. He hasn't had a great day. Big Barry. Holding the ball.
One umpire's paid holding the ball, and the other said no over the shoulder.
He was in his zone, though.
Gee whiz.
Oh, that is incredible.
He is lucky to get this, Barry Hall.
The first free kick was too high. The second free kick was the resulting tackle. So the umpire's call is correct if you believe it was a high tackle.
Barry Hall is goalless today. He's kicked 11 goals in 2 finals prior to this. 40 metres from goal. And he's missed it. And the Eagles fans behind the goals are celebrating. 5 behinds from free kicks the Swans have kicked, and they're 7-10 to 10-10.
That's a costly one. Banfield brings the ball back into play. He kicks it to Selwood. Wants to give off the hand pass to Urpunda. Back to the defensive goal square. He brings it broadcast side of the grounds. Markers taken by Rowan Jones. He links up with Waters. At right half-back. Longy goes to a 2-on-1. The Swans with the numbers. Goods brought it down for Fosdyke. Breaking clear. Hand pass Buchanan. Stepped around Cox. Hand pass forward for Kirk. Kirk comes inboard. He pumped it too long for Fosdyke. Hall barges out. Almost lost the footy. Lost it now and gets it back. Hand pass to Fosdyke back near the wing. Hand pass for Jolly now to Richards. He took him on. It was pretty ambitious. Hand pass backwards. Trouble. Free kick. Craig Bolton taken high by Lynch. All you could see here was a whistle and an umpire charging in, and it was unsure which way it was going.
There was no way known that was too high. That's absolutely rubbish.
Craig Bolton on the members' wing.
It's that man again.
It's a congested setup ahead of him. He's going to send it long, gives himself some momentum. He'll need a big grab. Doyle was in front, at the back, lunging at it. McVeigh, hand pass to Doyle. Here we go, out to Richards, onto the right. He's missed. And the Swans are doing it in points. They're back to 17, but it is their turn to squander it. Peter Bruckner.
Bo Waters off with a shoulder injury. Looks like his AC joint getting some treatment.
Oh, that's okay. He's only been kicking to the other side anyway.
Embley after a little
every time
rest.
he's at it.
Comes off the bench. The kick goes the other way. Oh, this is a good mark.
This bloke's have a big effect up forward.
He's killed him.
Played 33 games in 4 seasons with Essendon. Given a chance by the Swans. And he's missed just 2 this season. Goes the short pass. Davis on the 50. Juggles, but has awarded the mark. And not every Eagles fan is totally happy with that decision.
Monopolising the ball though, Sydney. Really are. They're looking so much stronger and better in this quarter.
They trail by 17 points. Nick Davis has kicked 2 straight. He kicks from 51. It's high. Is it long enough? Yes! A goal! And the Swans right back in business to defend their premiership. Sydney 8-11-59. West Coast 10-10-70. The margin 11.
Yeah, well, the positive thing from Sydney's perspective is that it's been 12 minutes since they kicked a goal, but they've kicked 2 in a row. They've squandered some opportunities. Hall's missed a sitter. They've had some other chances, but the game's being played in their forward half. There's no question what about it. They're doing better around the packs, more run through the midfield. Players like Kirk, McVeigh, those type of players, Buchanan, all just starting to get a little bit more of the footy. But I think Ted Richards has been the one. He's been the cat amongst the pigeons up the forward line. He's giving them a target. He's had 7 possessions this quarter, and he's just been that little bit of a wild card, and he's really opened it up for them.
The tide has turned in the grand final. The Eagles' lead has been whittled back to 11 points. Cox flies at the jump. He wins the tap to Fletcher. Hand pass to Judd. Judd kicks wide to half forward. Not a great kick. And over the top of his intended target, Cousins gets back, works the hand pass up the boundary for Stenglein, but it goes over. Dying seconds of the third term.
Inside 50s this quarter. Sydney 13-8, so they've really come back.
And it's 4-2 the Swans' way. Cox got his hand on the ball again, but Doyle came up with it. Hand pass to nobody in particular. Matthews made a good contest and won the ball. He got it to Kirk. Kirk goes direct. O'Loughlin and Chick. Chick got a hand in there. O'Loughlin follows up. He's outnumbered at the drop, and Glass sees it out of play.
Brett Kirk's been outstanding this quarter. I think he's had 10 or 11 possessions. He's starting to lead the side well. He's starting to push them forward and rally the troops. Done a great job.
Someone would have to do a lot right from the boundary throw-in. Short of half forward for the Swans. Doyle got rid of Cox but didn't find a teammate. Judd with a loose hand pass. Kerr takes it. He's taken but got his hand pass away to Judd, who burns away up the wing. He stabs the kick to centre half forward and the siren beats the play. The Swans have dragged themselves back into the contest. They've kicked 4 goals 5 to 2 goals 3, and they are within range at three-quarter time. West Coast 10-10-70, leading Sydney 8-11-59. And who would have doubted that this game would be alive at the final change? The Eagles 3 goals to Lynch, 2 each to Cousins, Hansen and Embley, with a single to Judd. For the Swans, 3 each to Davis and O'Loughlin, with singles to Matthews and Roberts-Thompson. The game is alive at the last change.
And the difference on the scoreboard, 11 points in favour of the Eagles going into the last quarter. Peter Bruckner.
Yes, Bo Waters has had his shoulder strapped up. He's back on the ground and will start the last quarter.
Barry Hall, Lewis Roberts-Thompson, O'Loughlin and Davis deep forward. The grand final is in the balance as the siren sounds to begin the final term. It's the Eagles by 11 points. Umpire Brett Allen with a perfect bounce to start. Cox with a lovely tap, but it ricocheted to McVeigh. Quick kick for Barry Hall. He dished it off. Here's Goods breaking through. It's a goal! What a start by the Swans! 16 seconds it took. And things are back to within a kick. 10-10-70 West Coast. 9-11-65 Sydney.
What a start. McVeigh out of the centre. You must win the centre square, and they've just started to get on top. McVeigh got a quick kick out. Big Barry straight up the middle in front of his man. Good strong hands and Goods to charge up the middle. That is the start you require. The Swans are right back in this game, and I tell you, West Coast, they just need to win the ball. They must win this centre bounce.
Oh, and at last Barry Hall took a mark. It's actually his 5th of the game. He's had a few fumbles, but that was beautiful. He marked, moving away from goal. He handballed off to Goods, who was going at 1,000,000 miles an hour towards goal. Bounce in the centre, 1 kick the difference, 5 points the margin as Kirk breaks out of the middle for the Swans and kicks them to half forward. Roberts-Thompson slightly beaten to the ball. That's good defence. And bursting out of there, the Eagles comes up the ground. Braun works the ball back. It goes to Cousins, and his kick down the line is marked by Waters. 70 plays 65. These teams have been separated by the width of a cigarette paper for the last couple of seasons, and it looks like being that again. Kick by Waters. Inboard he goes to Braun. Michael Braun, kid from Echuca in Victoria, playing for the Eagles. Kicks towards the 50. Mark dropped down there by Hansen. It comes to Richards. Ball jolted out of his arms, close to the boundary line. Fletcher works the ball across somehow to Hansen, who blazes to goal, and right on the line. It's kept alive actually by the Swan. Leo Barry.
Hit the post.
It is into the post.
The sun was in the eyes then. The players had no idea where the footy was.
That's good, because either did I. 6 points the difference, 71-65.
6 points to difference, hey? The draw is in the offing. It's only early in the last quarter. Craig Bolton to do the kicking, and he shades his eyes from the sun. He has to go now. He sets it up, bad kick. Hansen's in the van. Goods made the spoil. Eagles with the numbers. Stenglein trying to get out of trouble. He got a high tackle. Hand pass to Braun at half forward. He sets it up to the hot spot. Kerr's the jumper.
Great mark, son.
Magnificent. He took a one-hander and played on. Kicks for Goods at half-back. It's the stage for heroic acts. That's the first of the quarter from Kirk. Goods goes long. O'Keefe Lovely mark against Selwood on the wing. He plays on two. O'Loughlin's his target. He's got a couple to beat. He can't do it. Glass gets back to take the mark.
That's the sort of things you need to do. Daniel Chick backed off and just kept his man out of the way and took an easy mark. That's the sort of stuff they need to do.
Glass across the ground. Waters takes the mark. Hand pass away to Kerr. Daniel Kerr waltzing, strolling, touches the ball down. Nearly cornered. Hand pass back to Embley. They're back in the defensive goal square, and Embley has to run the ball through for a rush behind. And these teams are so close together. A rush behind given away so easily. Who knows? That could nearly decide the game.
The mental war is starting to be won.
So the margin is now 5 points again as Embley kicks in. Ball sits up for Braun. Kick by Braun up towards centre wing. Matthews has a bit of a wrestle with Fletcher. Fletcher breaks away from it. Taken to ground by Hall. Big Barry back in the back line. Gets the hand pass looking for Kirk. Kirk loses his footing, regains it. Taken around in a tackle by Wirrapunda, but the ball goes out of play and we'll have a throw in. Eagles 10-11. Swans 9-12. We played 4 minutes last term.
Kennelly just got decked.
He did. Thrown in, 60 from the Eagles goal. Here's Judd bursting away, running to 50, into the pocket, looking for Hunter. The kick is wide.
Oh, I think they've got to realise you don't pass into the forward line there because the sun's in their eyes. Chick's in trouble.
Chick's in trouble.
I think Chick has got cramp.
And they're not
coming
ready
to the
for him
bench.
off the bench.
The Eagles deep in attack here. Cox looking to create something, got his hand to it, put it down the throat of O'Keefe, couldn't handle it. Lynch is stripped of the footy, he bullocks on, ball remains in dispute. It is desperate and tight. Lynch tries to stand up, he took half the pack with him. He couldn't get it out though. A bounce, 20 from the Eagles goal. The lead is theirs, it has been theirs all day bar the first points. It's only 5 points. The tap down taken by Kerr. He burst away. He goes for the right. He got no curl on the footy and kicked it out on the full. 71 plays 66.
And the kick in out into the sunshine. Great Southern stand side.
Oh, has he paid a free?
The whistle's gone. It's coming all the way back.
Wrong guy kicked
to
it
full back. Okay. So Richards.
That'll make a difference.
Will kick it in.
It's got nobody on the mark. There's nobody within 50 metres of him. They're all pushed back. So he's going to play on.
So Ted Richards can nearly get it to the defensive 50. He doesn't go that far. Kicks to half-back flank. That is beautifully delivered. And a mark very well taken by Dempster at left half-back flank. The Swans have charged back. They trailed at one stage by 27 points at the 16-minute mark of the third quarter. The kick up short of half forward and Glass flies and is awarded a mark which he didn't hold on to all that very long. Slides a little hand pass away to Fletcher and he kicks to centre wing. And two Eagles bowl each other over. It's taken by Embley off the deck. He kicks up towards half forward. Hansen reaches high for the ball. He keeps it alive. Richards has done a really good job. He works it out of bounds. Is it deliberate? It is, and it's a free kick to Hansen.
Hansen looks toward the 50. Lynch is on the lead. Longer he goes. Hunter's the target. A pack of four. Hunter got his hands to it. Not enough. Goods was waiting for it. He swings the kick out of the defensive area. Needs a contest. Richards on Hansen. Did enough, and the ball spills beyond them and out of play.
Oh, it's tight. You can feel the tension.
It should be familiar stuff for both coaches and both sets of players. Forward of the wing, the Eagles way, the boundary throw in. Judd collected the tap, couldn't break clear. He had the clamps from in front, behind and on the side. A three-man tackle to bring him down. Players slow to rise. There's a fatigue factor certainly in this game now. They've run themselves into the ground. Jolly got his hand to it, but Cox did the roving. Threw it onto his boot. High ball to half forward. Hansen almost brought it down. He did bring it down. Low down, virtually lying on the ground when he completed the mark.
Now, this is his little problem, isn't it? This is his little problem from here. These are the ones that he should nail. If you're going to be a top centre-half forward, he's fantastic. His work rate's just been superb. But you just got to put the icing on the cake. You've got to be able to nail these.
He's taken 7 marks. He kicked 2 goals in the first term. He's looked like he's belonged on this stage at times today. This is a huge test. Ashley Hansen from 53 lays into it and missed. A behind. And we're back to one straight goal. 6 points the difference. 72 plays 66 the Eagles way.
So Hansen is less than 50% for the season. 2 goals, 3 today. They've brought the ball in, the Swans, to Kirk at 50, defensive. He kicks over the centre line and it's taken away by Rowan Jones for the Eagles. Concedes some ground with a hand pass back to Glass. His kick back to centre wing, and this time Richards beats Hansen. Good mark. Ted Richards, the former Bomber, gets momentum, kicks to centre half forward, drops short of Hall. Couple of Eagles there, and the little bloke takes the mark, Daniel Kerr. The hand pass away to Cox. Should be the other way around. Cox to mark and Kerr to Rove. Out to Selwood. Selwood half distance pass, and the mark taken by Waters. He's had some real toughness to the Eagles.
He doesn't play on, this kid. He refuses to play on. He goes the safest option all the time, which is poor. He needs to take him on.
Down the line to Butler, who takes the mark at centre wing. 72-66. A 6-point lead to the Eagles, and we played 9 minutes in the last quarter. Another close one between these two teams. If they play grand finals every year, we'd be happy with that. Kick by Butler to the 50. A mark taken, it spills to Hunter. He kicks to an open goal square. There's nobody there. The ball hasn't got the momentum to get there. Kennelly first back for the Swans. He paddles it and rushes it behind. Just as well he didn't miss. He would have been pinged for deliberate, but he got a point.
A lot of play in the Eagles half. 9.5 minutes gone of the final term. Their lead is 7 points. Kennelly to kick in. It's 7-3. The inside 50s the Eagles' way this quarter. He finds Goods. Goods to centre half back for Matthews. He should be able to play on. He does. He brings it out to the wing on the members' side. O'Keefe's in front. The spoil is made. Fletcher's at the fall. Worked his hand pass to Rowan Jones, who was pushed off it by Jude Bolton. Missed his target, Fosdyke by hand. Craig Bolton had his kick smothered. It ricocheted to McVeigh. The Swans inside 50. Davis and Banfield. Banfield went the hoof at it. He paddles it out. Schneider to repel. Ran into a tackle. Held up. 45 from the Sydney goal. Kerr was the tackler. How tense do you like your footy? 7 points in it. Inside the Swans 50. Doyle follows up. Hand pass into congestion. Selwood. Hand pass to Cox. A little loose. Found its way to Waters. Now to Embley.
There was a panic kick.
Outside the 50. Cousins dropped it off his chest. It spills to the boundary. Runs out of play.
Oh, they can feel the pressure out there. They're players who are clear, and they're just belting on their boot because they know it's far better to do that than to try and do something and get tackled close to goals.
Boundary throw in. Doyle actually works over the top of Cox. In the back against Goods. Play on, says the umpire. Butler was nearly buried. O'Loughlin near the boundary line works it in, but taken by Judd. You are a marvel, Chris Judd, at half-back. He kicks up towards centre wing. The ball bounces past Richards and goes to Lynch. He's got some run from Kerr, but Lynch goes for a long ball to full forward. Hansen pushed, but the mark was taken at the back of him by Hunter. Hansen was molested then.
It's getting to everybody at the moment. The pressure, the tension, just amazing. 16 seconds of this quarter, we kicked a goal, the start of it. It's now gone 11 and nearly 12, and we've had just an incredible Titanic battle.
So Adam Hunter near the boundary line, 35 from goal, tight angle, and he's missed as well. In fact, missed everything. The ball has gone out of bounds on the full. So after kicking bags of 4 in his last 2 finals, he's kicked 1 behind today and 1 out of bounds. We've been playing 12 minutes in the last quarter. It's 10-13 to 9-12. The Eagles lead by 7.
There's just a stranglehold on the game. Goods kicked it into Kennelly. He drives for the members' wing. Good-looking kick. And coming out to meet it is Dempster. Jude Bolton makes the next lead. Dempster's not sure. Craig Bolton's short. Sideways is Goods. They're all manned up now. Dempster's going to have to kick it long to a contest. Roberts-Thompson will be the leaper for the Swans from behind. Did enough to bring it to the front. Near the boundary, Embley is collared by Jude Bolton. It's out of play. It's in Swans territory now. They trail by 7 points, approaching the 13-minute mark. Boundary throw in. Jolly links arms with Cox. Won the tap, did Jolly. Matthews is after it. Pushed away from it by Kerr, who gathers. He runs backward, has 2 bounces, 3 bounces. He's giving away 50, 60 metres by doing so. He looked for the break. The break was Brett Jones at 50. Now the Eagles can build. Brett Jones holds up. Into the corridor he'll come. Hand pass for Stenglein. Stenglein out a little wider for Selwood. They still probe for the way forward. Butler got it and kicked for Hansen, who takes the mark on the southern wing.
7-point lead to the Eagles, who have kicked 3 behinds this last quarter. The Swans have kicked 1-1. Chad Fletcher takes the mark off Hansen's kick, but he's still about 2 kicks to goal. Kick by Fletcher, looking for Braun outside the 50. Good spoil put on in by Fosdyke. The ball close to the boundary line and now over, and a throw in. Well, this time last year the Swans were unsurpassable at stoppages, but ball retired as a ruckman. They haven't been absolutely so dominant this time. It comes down to Fletcher of the Eagles, to Butler, to Braun. He centres the ball out in front of goals. Is there a mark? No, play on. It comes to the front. Cousins run down. Whipped away by Goods for the Swans. On the rebound, it opens up for Sydney. Right near the middle of the ground. It's taken by Dempster. He kicks inside the 50 for Davis. 1-on-1. He's beaten by the veteran Banfield. Banfield gathers at ground level. Hand pass to Embley. Out pass. Out comes to Selwood. Selwood concedes some ground. Back to Embley. And now he comes forward. Embley, and a good kick. And Waters takes the mark, tumbling backwards and hits his head on the ground. 10-13 the Eagles, 9-12 Sydney. 14.5 minutes gone last quarter. Just 7 the diff. Eagles in front.
There is some careful footy being played. Waters, he measured the kick and missed his mark. Stenglein. Kennelly bursting away. Swings the arm to break a tackle. Hand pass found its way to Doyle. He gives it to Jude Bolton. Wide across the 50 he goes. Out in front of Dempster and Brett Jones. Cousins and McVeigh arrives. McVeigh seduces the footy away. Into the pocket he goes. He didn't look. And Embley was waiting for it for the Eagles.
Who's going to break the dam? Who's going to kick the first goal?
Embley delivers outside the defensive 50 for Rowan Jones.
Oh, he's sound asleep, this kid. He's had a shocker. Fletcher was 50 metres by himself.
They are being very careful. Rowan Jones up the wing. He's overkicked Hansen this time, and Barry makes the intercepting mark. He looks inboard. He kicks it to Richards at halfback. Richards can have a run here. He has a bounce. Hansen closes. It's a long kick in the whole direction against Glass. It comes to the front. Mopping up was Armstrong. He gives the Cousins running the boundary. Where's the next target? It's not obvious. He kicks it out in front of Hansen and Barry. Barry tries to win the footy. Coming from the side is Lynch. And Lynch runs the ball out of play. It is still the Eagles, and it is still 7 points.
14 minutes without a goal.
Incredible. From the boundary throw in, Cox wins it, but all Swans at ground level. Taken by Kirk, little left footer up the ground, and McVeigh stretches the hammies and takes the mark. Great Southern stand side at the wing. Shadows have nearly covered the ground. McVeigh steers the ball into Malcheski, the youngster from North Ringwood, taken as the Swans' last pick, number 64 in 2002. Here he is in a grand final. The kick by Malcheski. Oh, good mark taken by O'Keefe, who took one step to play on, then decided against it and is allowed to go back. Kick by O'Keefe inside the 50. Hall wrestles his way clear. Roberts Thompson as well. Jude Bolton in front of the pack. Works it to Buchanan. A snap. And Buchanan kicked the goal. It's a point the difference. It's Schneider. Schneider's kicked the goal. And it's a point the difference. Did that take a long time? Eagles 10-13 to 10-12.
Well, it might have taken a long time, but the significant thing is that Sydney have kicked the last 4 goals. That's the significant thing here, because at the 16-minute mark, well, Lynch kicked the goal, the 11-minute mark of the third term. They haven't kicked the goal since. And so that's the whole problem, is that it's Sydney who's been able to kick the goals. West Coast have totally dried up. They've had enough of it, but they cannot find a genuine goal kicker. And my concern, they don't have a small man up there. They don't have a small man, no small forward who's doing any genuine damage. It seems to be the only avenue that they've got is trying to go to Hansen. They just haven't got any other options up there. and Sydney just sensational. Adam and Adam, there got their tails up.
Hanson to the bench. The Swans trail by a point. McVeigh lost his footing. Hand pass to Jolly. He gives it to Schneider. To the 50 he goes. Out in front of Banfield and Davis. Davis got it this time. Caught by Banfield. Hand pass was astray. Found its way to Kerr. Combines with Selwood. Kerr gets it back running the southern wing. Comes inboard with a second bounce. Now a third. He might sprint away from them. Hand pass for himself. Brought down by O'Keefe. Judd with a hand pass to Stenglein. Hurried kick inside the 50. The Eagles attacking for how long? Everyone collided. Armstrong in space. Kicks. Bounces. Goals.
What a game.
The Eagles answer. Their small forward has finally got his hands on the footy. 11-13-79. Sydney 10-12-72. 19 minutes played of the final term in front of 97,431 fans.
Take a bow, Daniel Kerr. What a magnificent run. Just took them on, went round, and everyone goes, what is he going to do? Who cares? Just keep going forward, son. Bounce the ball, take them on. They didn't know what was going to go on, and he just made that goal. Armstrong might have been on the end, but Kerr was absolutely outstanding. It's exactly what his team needs. Someone to really take them on and run at them, and he did it beautifully.
Oh, we cried out for a close grand final for 20 years. Got one last year, getting another one. Bring on the Eagles and the Swans every time. Jolly wins in the middle, down to Goods. Good distance from a standing start. Barry Hall can't take the mark. It comes to O'Keefe inside the 50. Hand passes to his own advantage. Near the boundary line. Kick by O'Keefe to the goal line. Oh, did they touch it? It's a goal! Unbelievable! It went through a forest of players unimpeded for a goal from the boundary line.
Oh, what a game. What a sensational game. And again, Sydney just getting the ball away from the centre bounce. That's what I like. I mean, they're just getting the footy. It's brute strength. It's nothing superb up there. And O'Keefe, I reckon he's had about 6 or 7 opponents today, O'Keefe. And the great thing there is that he kept his feet. Rowan Jones didn't in the tackle, fell to the ground. O'Keefe kept his feet, spun up, turned around and kicked. And the ball has just gone through. How it's got through, it's a Harry Houdini. It's just got through the hands and go through for a goal. What a sensational game.
It's an unbelievable goal. It's an unbelievable finish. 1 point to difference. The Eagles lead beyond 20 minutes. We're into time on the 2006 season. Cox rises and wins the tap. Kirk wins the footy for the Swans. It bounces inside the 50. Stenglein gets on the loose ball. Gives it to Wirpunda. Now to Embley. A bounce through defensive 50. A second as he reaches halfback. He looks up the line. There's nothing obvious. He sets it up high. Kennelly against Kerr. Kerr at ground level almost broke clear. He was brought down. Nelcheski had a hand pass. Goods is set up on. How will the umpire call it? A bounce. 6 minutes left. 21 minutes played. 1 point to difference. Half forward for the Eagles. Cox got his hand to it. Kirk dives on it, got one high. Sydney's ball at halfback.
He's been sensational.
Goods breaks for him on the southern wing.
Trouble.
He'll get it and go. The dual Brownlow medalist. He kicks for O'Loughlin. Hunter made the spoil across the front. Wirpunda mops up at the back.
Well, it's a poor kick,
the kick towards the wing. Armstrong taken to ground. No free kick. It spills to Cox. Gets the hand pass to Stenglein. Into Judd. Hand pass to Waters, who's taken high, and he'll take a free kick just forward of the logo centre wing. Bo Waters with the free. The Eagles by a point. We've played 22 minutes in the last quarter. The umpire's gone down. And he's no good. Goldsmith. He's calling for trouble, for assistance. He can't umpire. He can't get up. I didn't see what happened.
No, he's coming off.
Did a player run into him?
No, he ran into I think it was Matthews. Matthews had his back walking away, and Goldsmith's run backwards and actually into Matthews. So he's caused it.
So he's gone to the forward zone, and Brett Allen takes over where the ball is. The Eagles have it behind the circles. Jones rather. Brett Jones across the ground, and Braun takes the mark on the members' wing. A point the difference, 79 to 78. What two combatants these two teams are. The kick by Braun to the attacking 50. Big pack, Hunter in the middle. No mark. Stenglein gets a touch, but not clearly. Buchanan ducks his head.
Mother.
Hand pass to O'Keefe. Smothered. It's taken away here by Chick. The hand pass on to Hunter. And Hunter runs for goal and kicks it. Adam Hunter gets his first goal of the game. And the Eagles go to a 7-point lead again. 12-13 to 11-12.
What pressure by the forwards. Daniel Chick, beautiful smother. The little things that count in grand finals, in any sort of game. Daniel Chick throws his face straight over the ball, came straight back down. And then he just didn't do that. He also shepherded for Hunter. Gave him another one. Hunter had an easy run there. Daniel Chick was outstanding in that passage of play. Long kick by Braun in there. Put the pressure on the Swans. And all of a sudden, see what happens.
Twice Sydney has drawn to a point, and twice the Eagles have answered. There are 5 minutes to play in the grand final. The margin is theirs. It is 7 points. The Swans have got to find a way to challenge again.
Sydney have just got a three-man forward line. I think it'll be interesting to see Butler's trying to push back into the hole there now. They're just trying to keep it open, Sydney.
Centre bounce. Seavey got his hand to it. Jolly gets it though. He weaves out a kick to half-forward. Hall grasps the one-hander. Missed his hand pass to McVeigh. He might have been within range. Going backwards to Kennelly. High ball inside the 50. Hard to mark there. Stay fly. Wonderful grab by Waters. He flowed in from the side. He rose and brought it down. 12 marks for Waters. His kick is not to affect though outside the 50. The spoil made by Buchanan on Selwood. It's out of play. 70 from the Sydney goal. A lot of players in their half. Seavey rushes at and wins the tap. Down to Stenglein, who's dispossessed. Heavy tackles being laid. Ball skittling around. Fletcher has it run down by McVeigh. Hand pass came off. Waters comes up with it again. He kicks to the members' wing. Lynch and Barry get on after it. It clean bowls Lynch. Kennelly will be best to get there first. Has to decide where to go. Trying to wrong foot Braun. Did enough. A hand pass to Barry. Back to Kennelly. Give and go. Into Schneider on the logo. Long he goes. Trying to get back to contest and flies. Richards! Teddy Richards is 55 from goal. He's directly in front on last quarter legs. He goes for O'Loughlin. He stretches and drops the mark against the boundary. He's still a chance, O'Loughlin following up. He tackles Cox, who loses the footy. Tackled again by Melcheski. O'Loughlin wins the ball to the hot spot. They close. Craig Bolton made the spoil. Follows up. Can't find a teammate. Ball just pounding around. Buchanan a hand pass. Melcheski swings and goal! Magnificent Sydney! They will not be denied. They trail by 1 point at the 26.5-minute mark. 12-12 to 12-13. A goal with so much effort.
Oh, look, it's just a magic game of football. Players throwing themselves on. The ability under pressure to be able to get the football. Fantastic play, Buchanan. He got the footy there and he just tucked it under his arm, resisted the tackle, spun it out to Melcheski on the left boot, and he's whipped it through. Oh, what a game of footy.
And Michael O'Loughlin has come off absolutely spent. A point the margin, the Eagles in front. 27 minutes gone in the last quarter. All with umpire Brett Allen in the middle. What a grand final. Not a great bounce. Won by Cox. Judd buffeted. Gets the hand pass out. Ball knocked up the ground by Chick. All the way out of the centre square. Oh, Bolton Craig is pushed in the back and gets a mouthful of turf, and it'll come back to him for the free kick. Craig Bolton. On defensive 50. 85 to 84, the Eagles lead. Well, they can be patient, the Swans, but not too patient at this stage. The kick to centre wing, and Kirk takes the mark. Two players hit the deck before the ball arrived. Kirk the hand pass out wide to Richards, who's stationary. He runs around Chick and bounces, gets to half forward. Kick by Richards is...
Oh, great tackle!
Yeah. Chase and tackle.
Oh, Chick. Sensational.
Chick.
And the kick out of bounds on the full. And he's given up the free kick,
too,
Richards.
isn't he, Chick?
He is hurt.
Or is it just a cramp? I don't know.
Glass kicks in long. Goods rises above the pack. Heroic acts everywhere you look. Goods goes long. He needs a mark at full forward. Embley.
Is that the Leo Barry mark? It's not as spectacular, but it's...
We have gone 28 and a half minutes. The Eagles lead by 1 point. Embley has the ball at fullback and he carefully places it for Banfield. 45 from the Sydney goal. Braun makes the lead.
Brave running Braun. Brave running Braun.
Swans have got to get it off him.
28 minutes 51. 52, 53. Braun goes up the wing. It's to a contest. Hunter dropped the mark at the last moment. He wins the footy though. Hunter turned away. Hand passes for Judd, who didn't handle it cleanly. Kirk goes in after it. Their best result might be a stoppage. It flings around. Kerr's over the footy. He's held up. Caught in front, caught behind. It's on the southern wing. It's a bounce. The Swans are the stoppage specialists. They've got to go 3/4 of the ground.
Where's Cousins?
Players dog-tired at the end of the grand final. Doyle wins the head out near the boundary line and out. So instead of a bounce, now we get a boundary throw in. Great Southern stand side. The Swans in between half-back and wing, down by a point. The Eagles could reverse the result of last year. The throw-in, Doyle wins it again down to Malcheski, who's swamped in a tackle, and the Eagles proving just as good at stoppages as the Swans at the moment.
Are they pushing numbers back or what's happening? Let's have a look. What's happening here? No, pretty much still one-on-one. Or just one. Braun's the only one coming back to help Glass on Hall, just standing with Hall.
Just that both teams have got about 18 on ball.
There's Cousins.
Here's Cousins. He gathers, gets the hand pass away to himself, regathers the footy, has a bounce, dodges and weaves, concedes some ground back into a pack. Flick back to Kerr. Kick by Kerr towards midfield. He might have turned it over in midfield. Rowan Jones is there for the Eagles. Hand pass to Lynch. Lynch is no good on the left. Oh, lucky kick. Goes away to Waters. Waters no good on the left hand. He'll have to come and get it again.
He's gone.
He's had it. Taken away by Fosdyke for the Swans. They're down by a point. The kick by Fosdyke to the 50. It sets up. Glass works it to the boundary line. It's out of play. A stoppage. 85-84. The Eagles in front.
31 minutes have gone in the grand final. It is still in the balance to the final seconds. The Eagles are hanging on for grim death. Boundary throw in. The Eagles have returned the favour. Last year it was they who slumped to the turf. This time it is the Eagles who soar. As is always the case, the Swans and the Eagles, it wasn't decided by knockout. It was decided by points. 1 point. West Coast are the champions of 2006.
What a game.
We're the Eagles, the West Coast Eagles, and we're here to show you why. We're the big birds, kings of the big game. We're the Eagles, we're flying high.
Swans, Eagles 5 might have been the best of all. West Coast 12 goals, 13-85. Defeat the Swans 12-84. And the scenes are just polar opposite to 12 months ago. There are Swans players lying and sitting in various places of the MCG, wherever they were when the siren sounded. The Eagles have gathered together at the city end just as the Swans did. They are jubilant. There's sort of some measure of it's your turn about it. When the bell rings in these bouts, whoever's in front wins, and it's no more definitive than that. They led by 16 points at quarter time, by 25 at the half. The Swans reeled them back to 11 points at the final break. And from there, 3 times the Swans drew them back from 7 points to 1 point. And when it ended, the ball was in the Swans attacking 50. But the Eagles were the team in front. West Coast, for the 3rd time in their history, are the champions of the AFL.
And John Worsfold makes the triumphant march onto the ground to be hugged by his players, twice as a player and now once as a coach, a premiership.
These are the greatest moments of the season for the winning team. There is just outright joy, arms in air, hugs wherever you look. They have played another epic match.
That's now 5 games for an aggregate total of 12 points difference.
It's gone 4-4-2-1-1. And over the last dozen times they've met, the result has switched. The Eagles did it the polar opposite of the Swans. Last year it was the Swans who played 4 finals and won it. This year the Eagles, they got beaten by the Swans in the qualifying final. Yet it is their day on the MCG. 12-13-85 West Coast. 12-12-84 Sydney.
So the Eagles gained revenge for their 2005 defeat by delivering a 12-13-85 to 12-12-84 triumph over the Swans. The 1 point margin was the 5th straight match between the two clubs that was decided by less than a kick, just serving to underline what was a key rivalry of the AFL last decade. 2006 is still the most recent grand final appearance for the Eagles, and it was their 3rd flag, while also giving John Worsfold the honour of winning a premiership with the club as both a coach and a captain. The Swans continued a consistent run of making the finals in 5 of the next 6 seasons, and this of course was highlighted by their 2012 grand final win over Hawthorn. Our attention is now turned to Saturday's clash between the Hawks and the Dockers, and coverage on ABC Local Radio and Grandstand Digital will kick off at 12 Eastern Standard Time on Saturday afternoon, while the opening bounce will take place at 2:30. You can check Grandstand's website for more broadcast details at abc.net.au/sports, so we hope you can join our coverage of the 2013 AFL Grand Final. Bye for now.